Hey, yo. Welcome to another edition of Monday Madness. We are here. Yes, we really are here. I'm really here. I'm here. I gotta fix my camera, all kinds of weird stuff. What's up, everybody? What's happening? Now, I still have one thing I need to do before my guest arrives. Because I have this thing about wearing something that depicts somebody else's brand when I'm out here with somebody. You know what I mean? I don't really want to be promoting Game of Thrones when I'm talking about Loki. So we have to do this a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I can't be out here wearing a GOT shirt while we're promoting Loki. So we have to fix that. Okay, I'm better now. If y'all can catch my drift, it's just not cool to promote something else when you're talking to a guest, right? That's the way I look at it anyway. I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. This morning, the ladies at Ragin', Meredith and Nita, they decided that if they get to 100 subscribers before their appearance on CromCon on the 30th, that they will do the Toe of Satan challenge, which is a nasty hot lollipop thing that they're going to try to make each other quit. They do these challenges to each other all the time. It's always entertaining. And they said they're going to do it during CromCon. I thought that was pretty funny. So, got that to talk about. As usual, we have a booked show for CromCon on the 29th and 30th. We're booked. We're booked the next day. We had the event post up. We're ready to go. This works because of you guys. So, definitely going to have a good show. Got a lot of returning guests and some new guests as always. Talked to some people today about some different things. Got me a laugh or two out of some stuff I saw on the internet. Because, the internet's always entertaining. I see you back there. I'll bring you out in just a second. Yes, we have a great guest tonight, Jennifer Meinking. And she has a great book, Loki, Midgard, Taming the Trickster. It's, slightly different take on our Norse mythological mischief master. And she's trying to say that 5 times fast with no teeth. Dare you? So, yeah, I'm not going to screw around any longer. She's here. She's in the backstage. I'm going to go ahead and bring her out. Y'all say hello to Jennifer. How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Had a few technological difficulties, but I think we got everything figured out.
Okay, yeah, we're good. I did want to say that I noticed that you live out there where my mom does. So if you run into my mom, tell her I said Happy Mother's Day, okay?
Okay.
There is actually another author that's in the group named Previn Huditz. And he actually goes to the same church that my mom does in Albuquerque. And he's an author and he's in the group. And it's like, he always gets to relay stuff to my mom about me. She'll call me up and she'll like, Previn said this. Previn said you're doing that. So, it's like I got somebody that reports on me to my mom even.
Oh, no. So your mom lives in Albuquerque?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I used to live in near Albuquerque. I don't live in Albuquerque anymore.
No, I
know.
I
probably won't see your mom.
No, I know. You live in New Mexico. It's a pretty big state. I used to live in Arizona. I know.
Oh, no, I moved. I'm in Washington State now.
Oh, geez, you're up there. No.
Yeah, I'm in the Pacific Northwest now.
Wow. So now you're just up there getting wet.
Yes. After 12 years in the desert, yes.
See, I went the first 16 years living in the snow in Minnesota, and then I was like, okay, I got my license, I'm out. Boof, I went to Phoenix where my uncle lived because there ain't no snow there. I won't
That's
have to
true.
shovel snow anymore. I won't have to deal with this cold, cold, cold all the time. I
That's
did it
true.
for 35 years, and then that last summer there, just like I shriveled up. It drained me. I was like, I couldn't go outside. It like instantly suck all the energy out of me. I couldn't, So it was time to leave. Well, where do I end up? Back up here where there's snow. I can't figure it out. Hi, Teresa. How you doing? We
That's
got
how the
Teresa.
world works.
Teresa Dunn's in the chat. How you doing? So your books, which I'm going to have to order now. I didn't realize talking to you before that this is the second one.
Yes, The Taming of the Trickster is the second one, and I'm working on the third. A lot of my readers are quite upset with me because I was supposed to publish it right around the time when the pandemic started. So COVID threw me into a tailspin, just like a lot of other creatives.
Yeah,
It is coming. I have not forgotten about all of you great readers out there. It is coming. We've just gotten so many delays in the production process.
I totally understand that. I mean, that's what basically created CromCon and everything I'm doing was the fact that all my friends lost their tables at cons. Everything fell apart last year, and that's basically what created what I do. I was just a fan. I was one of them people you're talking to. I'm not a con promoter or any of the things that I took on.
You are
And
now.
yeah, I mean, I kind of took it on as my responsibility to help my friends because I had a group, I had a small platform. Well, now that platform's like 3 times the size it was then, and
Oh,
it
hey.
keeps growing. So I
You must
mean,
be
we're
good
having
at it.
fun. I don't know about that. I try to be real. I try to be me because there's too many people that actually know me that watch. So I can't come out here and put on a facade or be somebody else or because I got people that call me out. Yo, man, that ain't you.
Oh.
So I have to be me, which makes it kind of difficult. I mean, but I'm having fun. I've been having fun since I
Good.
started.
That's what you got to do. You got to have fun.
Now, I want to talk about your book.
Okay.
But I want to know first up, I want you to explain to people like a little bit of the premise, but then I want you to tell me how you ended up there when it came time to write your book.
Okay.
How you got there. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. So the premise, I'll start with the first one because that one is kind of crucial to understanding the second one. So the first one is called Loki of Midgard, the Making of a Magician. So the storyline is kind of contained in the name. It's all how Loki, who is the Norse god of mischief, but he doesn't know it because he's actually an Asgardian from another planet, and he stumbles on a portal that brings him to Midgard, where he finds out that he has been worshipped and acknowledged as the god of mischief, and he's going, how did this happen? And he lands in the 1920s, and it's not technically time travel because it is basically the same time period as Asgard is, so they are in correspondent. They're in the same universe, but Asgard is more advanced. So the 1920s, it kind of feels like time travel to him. Plus, he's entered a new world that he's never experienced before. So he gets to enter the age of magic and the jazz age, and he meets a young man, a Norwegian, because he's, of course, lands in Norway, and he meets a Norwegian named Kristoff, who is one of my favorite original characters. And this guy sees potential in Loki. Loki is basically just kind of doing his thing, trying to blend in with the humans, and he uses a little bit of his magic. He has the ability to manipulate sound and light and also to read minds. And so in my universe, every Asgardian is born with some kind of natural gift that allows them to manipulate elements or pieces of the universe to kind of enhance life for everyone around them. And so he is one of those who is blessed with 3 gifts, which is highly unusual for an Asgardian. But he inherited some of these powers in a very unique way, which I don't get into in this book, but I will in the prequel series that I'm going to be releasing soon. So I've kind of just compacted a lot in there. Let me get back to the first book. So he's using these gifts to just kind of blend in. And he doesn't really think anybody's paying attention, but he does a few magic tricks in a local bakery, which is where Kristoff sees him. And Kristoff, who is a very astute businessman, kind of goes ding, ding, money opportunity. So he presents Loki, who goes by Lucas Black at this point, presents him with an opportunity to travel as a magician during the Jazz Age in Europe. And so that's what the first book is him dashing back and forth between Asgard and Midgard, trying to keep his secret from both places. And so he's living a double life, and it's, you know, it starts to take a toll on him, and it has a bunch of adventures. There's someone trying to kill him, so he's trying to solve that mystery at the same time. And that's the first book, and it does end on a cliffhanger. I am sorry to all my readers, but it has to be done.
That's okay. That lets us know it's not over.
It's not. It isn't, not even remotely. So then the second book, what was that?
As a fan, I love a never-ending story.
Oh,
even if like the main characters, the main storyline dies, if there's spin-offs, if there's opportunity for the universe to continue to grow, I'm gonna be there as a fan. You see what I'm saying? It's like when they end and they're just over, I'm just like,
oh, so depressing.
Like you lose something. I want my fandoms to outlive me.
Oh, nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. Well, then you'll be very happy with me because I've got about 20 or 30 books planned. My universe kind of exploded in my head. So yes, I have the original series, which is the Loki of Midgard series. Then I have a spinoff. I like 3 or 4 spin-off series, and I also have a prequel series which I'm going to be releasing soon, and that has a lot more background into Loki's origins on Asgard, and also tells his mother Frigga's story. So I'm very excited about that one. The Taming of the Trickster, which is the original book that you mentioned, is the second one in the get it in the camera, in the second Loki of Midgard series, and that one goes into a very specific relationship that he's trying to work out as he's on Midgard doing his job, and it continues the mystery of him trying to solve who's trying to kill him and why, and then it brings in some other conflicts that he has to resolve. Then the third one, which is also coming out soon, is called The Rising of a Rebel, and that one is Loki touring America during the Roaring '20s, and so there will be gangsters in it, prohibition, a very different feel and flavor because he's but he has traveled from Europe to America, and so there's going to be some differences there. The fourth one and the fifth one are going to be continuations of the story to the culmination of where I originally planned to go with the series. Then I'm going to begin working on all of the spin-offs and the side series and continuations of other characters that I've developed. And everything is going to come to a head in the very, very last book that is going to tie everything together, all of the spin-offs, all of the prequels, sequels, and everything. And that one is going to be called Loki's Torch. And that one is the one that's going to sum everything up. It's a little bit like my End Game, or for Norse mythology fans, my Ragnarok.
There you go.
Yes.
And is it going to be a real Ragnarok, or is it going to be one of them fake ones like they did in Marvel?
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I don't want to, have too many spoilers. Okay. I do tend to stick closer to the Norse mythology. I have brought a lot of Norse mythological characters into my material. I have Balder, I have Hod or Hodr as it's in the Norse mythology, it's usually Hodr, but I called him Hod. And then I have Tyr and Frigga and Freya and Frey, and of course Odin and Thor, and Loki and Sigyn is in it. Trying to think of who else.
Heimdall?
Billy and Vay. What was that?
Heimdall?
Oh, of course, yes, Heimdall. Now, in my material, I actually made Heimdall and Hod brothers. So I've done a little bit of changing with relationships. And I took the Norse myth, the Norse myths, and I put a very interesting spin on it, which you can do with mythology, which is super fun. So I have reasons and explanations for how the myths and legends got to the stories that they are, because everybody wants to know where the stories came from. I mean, even at the beginning of the interview, you asked me, how did I get to writing what I'm writing? And so what I did was I have an explanation for why the myths were written the way that they were. So when Loki is written as having birthed Sleipnir, I have an explanation for why it was written that way. And there's an actual true story connected to the myth/legend. And so I had a lot of fun doing that. So with every Norse myth or legend there's a true story and a true person and a true character that's connected to that. So it's almost like a giant game of telephone of trying to get back to the beginning of how it happened, how it was inspired. But I've done that all in fiction. And of course, my explanations are just more fiction. But it's fun because you have to really think about it and have almost a mystery mindset. And I love mystery. So that was a very fun aspect of it. Now, I did not start out planning to do that. And here's where I'm going to answer your question about how I got to where I'm at. So I, of course, became a huge Marvel fan, really resisted the idea. I had been a Spider-Man fan growing up, so I loved Spider-Man, and didn't really know much about Marvel. And my sister dragged me to the movie theater to see Captain America for her birthday. And so she kind of is the one who started it all. I might have chosen different material to write about if she hadn't. Now, at this point in my life, I had wanted to be an author since I was a teenager, but I had locked that away because I didn't think I was good enough. Unfortunately, I believed that lie that we so often tell ourselves that we can't do it, so I didn't. And I saw Captain America, completely fell in love with Marvel and their material, their portrayal of the characters, the depth of and richness that they brought to the screen, and I couldn't get enough. So every time another Marvel film came out, I was like one of the first people in the audience, and totally fell in love with Iron Man. Oh,
I'm sorry. So
can't
so
hear you. Sorry.
I'm going to assume that you like this guy.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I like him too. I'm a huge fan of the Norse mythology. This is what the cover of the book looks like, y'all. Book 2 of the Loki of Midgard series.
Yes.
What she's talking about.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for flashing that up there. So yeah, I totally fell in love with Loki, and Tom Hiddleston's portrayal of Loki I thought was fantastic. My daughter, my oldest daughter, realized that I had a bit of an obsession, and so she said, "Hey, Mom, there's a whole group of comics out there," and she told me that Loki had a half-human daughter named Tess Black in the comics, and I was intrigued by that because I thought, well, that's interesting. Sounds to me like Loki had himself a little human romance. And I decided I wanted to tell that story. So I started to write a fan fiction that just for me and my daughter, for us to enjoy. And because I started to write, I couldn't stop everything from just pouring out everything that I'd kept locked up for 20 years. And all of a sudden I had this story, and I'm going, oh, this was supposed to be a short little fan fiction. I think I might have a novel here. And read it to a friend, or read parts of it to a friend, and she said, Jen, you have to publish this. And I said, no, I'm not good enough to get published. She said, if you don't do something with this, it's just sad. So I thought about it and I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I guess I could look into it. So I started researching, started talking to contacts I had in the publishing world.
Come here. Jennifer wants to meet you. Come here. Come here. Get up here. Come on. This is Rocky.
Oh, what a pretty thing.
This is Rocky, and he talks a lot, don't you?
He's beautiful.
All he does is.
I heard him. Yeah, he's got stuff to say.
He's still talking as he's walking away.
Yep. He's beautiful. Very pretty.
That's the little one.
Oh, the little one? Oh my.
The little one. Okay, we have one named Zeus. His head's bigger than mine. Okay, we got a big one. We got a little one.
Sounds appropriate. Yeah, I like the name. I've actually brought Greek mythology into my stories as well.
Nice.
Yes. So, and that's kind of where I ended up. Was I didn't want to keep it to Marvel. I didn't realize that Loki was connected to all of this mythology, and I'd always loved Greek mythology. So I started reading the Greek or the Norse mythology, and I totally got sucked in, and I was like, this is so fascinating. So I took my story and I pumped it full of Norse mythology. I took pretty much everything Marvel out of it, and yeah, I ended up with this material that I got super excited about, and I published the first 2 books, and that's where I'm at. That's how I got to where I am now. And now, of course, I'm completely immersed in Viking culture and Norse mythology, and I just love all of it. And that's part of why I moved to Washington, because a lot of that stuff is up here.
Well, see, I was born in Minnesota, where all I mean, it's Viking. That's what it is there, right?
It's in your blood.
Yeah. So I mean, what can I tell you? I definitely have. But see, like for me, I was a mythology fan before I was a comic fan.
Yeah, same here. I was a mythology fan as a little girl.
Yeah, I had a teacher, like a 4th grade teacher or something, that the last 10 minutes of class every day, she read from what I'd call a kid-friendly version of the Iliad, the Trojan War.
Yes.
So I mean, I was introduced to Achilles and Hector and Ajax and all these, Agamemnon and Menelaus and Paris and all these, King Prime, the whole thing, right? I mean, it's all right here. I can tell you the story. It's crazy. But that stuck with me like right away. So at the end of the year, that lady gave me a box of books.
Wow.
And there was all kinds of stuff in there. There was math puzzle books. There was just stuff to make a kid think, right? And, some mythology thrown in. And a couple years later, I was doing that have to go to the store with mom thing, and you're standing there in the checkout and you're just like, I don't want to be here, man. And you look over and there's Thor on the cover of a comic book. I never looked at comic books before that, right? I mean, I was sophisticated and read real stuff, right? I mean, I went right past that era of your life where you're supposed to get caught up in the cartoon funny books.
Right.
I didn't get exposed to that. I got exposed to actual books and mythology and stuff. So then when I see Thor on the cover of, I actually have a copy of the book. It's Defenders number 10.
Wow, cool.
Thor and Hulk on the cover.
Nice.
And I'm like, Mom, I gotta have this. I gotta check this out, Mom. And suddenly going through the spinner racks was something to do, and collecting comics and reading comic stories became something to do because Thor was there. Oh, there's Hercules. He's in this too. And then I was lost.
Oh yeah. Yep. Sounds about right.
And that's, I mean, now I'm surrounded by everything in the whole genre. I mean, I got Loki back there on the wall. I got Thor. I got Odin. I got myself as Odin.
Yeah, I saw that cover. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's a Gosmosis cover. The guy who drew that's name is Gosmosis.
I want somebody to turn me into Frigga. She's one of my favorites. I just love Frigga.
there are so many awesome people in the group that could do that for you.
Well, hopefully somebody's listening.
I had John R. Smith do me as a Jedi. Okay. I've had JT Malloy do me as Superman. I had Gaz do me as Odin. It's like people just. I had Russell do me as the Silver Surfer.
Oh, that's great.
It's crazy. It's a server. It looks more like Keanu Reeves than me. I ain't gonna lie, but it's got the hair and everything instead of bald headed. But, I mean, what can I say? I love this stuff, man. My wall. This whole corner is just all original art. So if you see me looking up, I'm looking up and appreciating somebody's art. That's
Yeah, it looks awesome from my angle. All of those covers in the background.
That's the signed books. That's the signed books. But this is all the original art.
Oh, wow.
That's me as a Jedi right there.
Nice.
And that's me as Superman right there. And the Odin one is over there, and
is that a dragon over there?
The
is
Odin
that
one
a dragon that I see?
Dragon. Let me see. The Carnage.
Oh, it looked like a dragon from. It's really small on my screen, so it's kind of hard to see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could blow that up a little bit. Okay,
Ooh.
yeah. We have The Reaper by Monty Michael Moore, and Electra by Jonathan Brooks. That's up in the corner. You can't see it that well, but it's the Suicide Squad by Jim O'Reilly after the Jim Lee, and it's real nice. And Adam Fields Action #1, which is Superman holding up the Vikings bus. That's a Gary Parkin, Harley with Deadpool. So
I see Iron Man.
And then you have Thor by Jack Purcell, Beta Ray Bill by Gary Ratliff, Elektra by Marcy Phillips, John R. Smith right there. You got Andrew Mangum, one of his Hatchet pieces. Love that. I always forget this guy's name. I'm so sorry. I always forget this guy's name, and his stuff right in front of me. The page right there is from Rich Parada's Incantessi, which is on Indiegogo right now, for those of you who are watching. We got Ernest McClendon's Thor, my son's Captain Juggernaut. The guy who did the the Odin cover of me also did that Hulk and Wolverine right there.
Nice.
The Electra up in the top in the middle is me. I did that.
Oh, hey.
And the she right there I did after Billy Tucci.
Cool.
Yeah, I draw a little bit. Not too much, but a little. I'm no good at it, so, But I wanted to. The reason I did it was because I wanted to experience what all these people I talk to all the time actually go through. So I was, I'm out here talking to them, and it's like, okay, when I ask a question about what they go through, it's like now I have some kind of an idea. Like my problem was I want to keep fixing it until I ruin it.
Yes, that is the artist's dilemma. Yep. Okay, I do the same with mine.
You would hear these people talk about this stuff, but if you've never tried to do it and experienced it, you don't get it. Okay, so I put pencil to paper to find out exactly what this feeling is, and yeah, that's why they're in frames, because I have to get away. I have to put them down. I'm gonna mess them up if I keep messing with them. So put them behind glass so I can't touch them anymore. Put it way up there.
There you go. That's a good solution.
But I mean, I get it. I get what when they tell me about working on a piece, it's like now I sort of understand what they're talking about, what they're going through. So that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So this is the actual. I have it in the pin post. The link to this book right here is in the pin post at the top. Um, Loki Midgard Taming Trickster. Okay, and you can also pick up the first book there, right?
Yes, yeah. I think I sent you the link for the first one as well. But I sent so many links.
Yeah, I put all of your all of your contact links on one banner right there. How do you like that?
I see that. It looks like a sports scroll. It's pretty cool. It makes me very professional looking.
Well, it's like now it doesn't matter which one they use. It's right there.
You're gonna find me. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every platform, there she is.
Yep.
But as far as the books
Twitter.
go, I mean, I'm looking at this right here. It says.
Yep, right next to it, the eyes.
Right,
That's the first one.
You got the making of a magician.
That's the one. Yep, there it is.
All right.
And so anybody who is in Washington State, if you see somebody walking around with a black hoodie that has those eyes on it and the word Loki across it, it's more than likely me. So if you've read my book or, seen any of my interviews, please come say hello.
Do that. And click this follow button right here, too. Oh, I got to sign in. I don't have it yet. Amazon account. Nice try. I'll do that later.
There you go.
I'll actually get an account. What can I say? But yeah, this is it's my kind of stuff. And everybody that knows me knows mythology, that's right exactly where I want to land if I'm looking for something. If I'm looking for a book, especially something that has a twist, that's not just classic mythology, because I've read all those stories. You
want something new. Yes. And these definitely are. They definitely are. There's one specific character that not too many people have heard of, but since you're into Norse mythology, I'm curious to see if you know who Kvasir is in Norse mythology.
I'm going to have to say no.
The father of poetry. He's not actually one of the gods. He was in Norse mythology, he was created from, it's kind of gross, but from the spit of the Vanir and Aesir when they made their agreement, Asgard and Vanaheim, and they all spit together in this cauldron, and Kvasir was born from that spit.
I see, the story sounds familiar, but the name didn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, that seems like something I've read before, but yeah. You know how it is. When you've read 15,000 fantasy and sci-fi books, it's really hard to remember names unless it's like somebody that really stands out, like Loki or Thor. You know what I mean? It's like I've read so many books in my life.
That's awesome, though.
Well, I mean, I love to read. Like I said, somebody when I was really young got me interested in reading, and that's all it took, and that's what I try to do for my grandkids, is instill reading in them. Gifts from grandpa are books. They're comic books, they're whatever, they're books. They're something you read and look at. They're not toys to play with. We got past that point. They're all old enough to read now, so now they get books from grandpa.
That's awesome.
I want them to be the next generation of fans, creatives, whatever.
Yeah. Great. Oh, that's fantastic.
So when you're writing this and you're meshing his two lives together, but it's like the Loki that we know is like, he don't care about hiding his identity or hiding what he's doing from anybody unless he's actually in the middle of a scheme.
Well, my Loki's different. So don't go into it expecting Marvel or the Norse god of mischief, because my character is everything and more. So you'll see a side of him that you might not be expecting. And not everybody's going to like what I did with Loki, but a lot of people do. And I've had quite a few fans tell me that they actually do imagine Tom Hiddleston in my version of Loki. And that's totally fine. Tom Hiddleston could absolutely pull it off. He's a fantastic actor. But my Loki really is different. There's a sweet side to him. And also you have to remember that this is before he was quote unquote corrupted. So it's his younger years. It is, if you're going with the Marvel timeline, it's about 90 to 100 years before the events of the first Thor movie. Even though I'm not tied to Marvel and my material is
Right.
really has nothing to do with Marvel. But if you wanted to try to place it in the Marvel timeline, that's where it would go. Is about 90 to 100 years before the events of Thor, when he was still kind of wet behind the ears and innocent. He's getting ready for his rite of passage. So he's not quite considered an adult, even though he's been fully grown for 1,000 years.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
that makes it
He
all
went
the more
through. He
interesting.
went through some stuff when he was young.
Yes.
There's really. I try not to. I try not to blend the Marvel over the actual mythology because Marvel just wrote way more stuff than was actually in mythology, and when
They
they
did.
do when they do dance close to it, that's all they do is dance close to it. The first Ragnarok story, which I thought was amazing, even though Odin made it up. Okay, then they come out with this movie, which was basically World War Hulk. It didn't have any. It wasn't Ragnarok. There's no Midgard serpent. It's not Ragnarok. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've got the Midgard serpent.
See, she gets it.
You are my.
What's up, Marvel?
Well, they totally missed an opportunity with Balder too. I didn't even know Balder was a character until I started reading the Norse mythology, and I went, "Oh my goodness, I got to do something with this." So I have, in fact, I've got an entire spin-off series planned on Balder.
Good, because there was a time when Balder was rivaling Thor in the Marvel universe for popularity. People really, really were digging on that character, but according to the storyline, we got to kill dude off, right?
Well, they did that in Norse mythology
too. So, it's like Marvel didn't really.
Yeah.
They didn't look with forethought at this. It's like, what if everybody likes this guy and we got to write him dead into the story here real soon? Because
they did that with Loki too.
Yeah, it's
kill them off.
Yeah. So I mean, it's nice when you can keep them separated enough.
Yes.
But what you're doing, the way you're doing it, where it's like a secret identity hidden from both worlds. It's like, when I'm down here, I don't want them to know, and when I'm up here, I don't want them to. It's like I like that aspect of it. Like he has to keep his identity secret from everybody instead of being the guy. I mean, you think of Loki, you think Neil. I mean, he's the guy, right?
But
that's
he's not there yet. Yeah, exactly. He's not there yet. So, and that's, he still very much respects his father, and you really see the difficulties in his relationship with his father. And so I did take that inspiration from Marvel, the relationship between Loki and his brother Thor, the relationship between Loki and his father Odin, and the relationship between Loki and his mother Frigga. So Norse mythology, there's only one. I'm going to have to pause for a minute. I'm about to lose the battery on my laptop. Can you take me off screen for just a minute?
Yeah, you're good.
Otherwise,
all right. So, Michael James, I see you in the chat. Edwin, what's happening? You guys, what's up? I know it's usually comic books, but y'all know I have a soft spot for the Norse mythology, and I do read real books too. So yeah, this one I'm really looking forward to getting involved with, man. I want to see both of these. I see Nita. What's happening? Oh, what's happening? And yes, we were talking about Nita. We were talking about you earlier. How if we can get 100 subscribers over there to the Actually Raging YouTube channel, we get 100 subscribers over there by CromCon, which is like 35 people, something like that, 34 people. Go over there, click that button, and Nita and Meredith will come out here and smash the toe of Satan during their segments of CromCon. Now, I don't know if y'all know what the toe of Satan is, but it's supposedly like this some super god awfully hot lollipop that they say they can feel the heat through the packaging, y'all. So I can't wait to see them go through that. Are you good, Jennifer?
I do not know what happened, but my charger was not functioning properly. Technical difficulties again.
You're all right. You're all right. We have so much to talk about that, I mean, we're always good for a minute or two. I got way too much to talk about. This guy's got a killer book. Vector Squad 3. If y'all looking over there on Kickstarter, check it out. It's another person that I've been trying to help get his book off the ground, get it funded. Man, there's a lot of people I'm trying to help right now who are, like underfunded. They aren't there yet. It's different when you're going out there and you're like, hey, this one's paid for, y'all just order it. When when you're actually putting in the work, trying to get somebody seen and trying to get them noticed enough that people will go back their project. That's when the work comes in. It's it's not the popular people who everybody knows about.
Yes.
It's you guys, and those are the ones I'm trying to put in the work for. There's a few of them I'll probably be talking about throughout the evening. We already covered Incantessi, that's another one. He's on Indiegogo. He's real close to being funded, but ain't quite there yet. So we work at it for everybody. Right now, geez, this one came out in March of 2019.
Yes. And I did the Kickstarter thing. It was a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work.
Yes. And if I'd have known you then, I'd have been pushing the hell out of this book.
Well, we're going to do Kickstarter again for book 3, so I might hit you up.
Oh, well, we will do a launch party for you.
Ooh.
We'll come out here and launch it in front of, we'll come out here live when you hit the button and be talking about it, get people to pledge. It's one of my favorite things to do, really.
Awesome.
Is get people kicked off. We did it for Ego Raven just a couple weeks ago, last week or something. It took right off, man, and we did it for Cindy Kep's Animal Eye. And, I love doing those kind of shows. It's different from just the Monday Madness come out and talk. It's like, there's excitement to watching that pledge counter go up. Ding, 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 ding,
Yes.
And you're out here with the author or the artist, and you get to see their face light up as things take off. I love doing those.
That does sound really exciting.
So when you're ready to do that, let me know. We will talk about it for a couple weeks ahead of time. We'll have people out here watching, just like we do right now.
Nice.
That's what we do.
That sounds great.
But I mean, I love it. I have a blast doing this for everybody. Y'all, everybody watching, man. I mean, like I said, I know it's not my usual. This is, this is something a little bit different, but, just like JC said right there, nothing wrong with a little mythology. And this is some mythology with the twist, you guys. Is straight up. It's not just the classic Norse mythology. It's a little bit wrapped up of everything. A little bit of reality, a little bit of the Marvel, a little bit of everything. And Tom. We got to get.
I did take inspiration from Tom. Yes, I did.
You know how cool it would be if you could get this to where it was like an animated show and you could use his likeness. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to have this turned into a comic at some point. I actually do have some art that I had an artist, I think he might be in Thailand, I'm not sure, but a fellow fan hooked me up with this guy, and I'm always looking for artists. So any artists who might be listening, if you're interested in getting involved, hit me up. I would
Edwin,
love to
Tail
a graphic
Rider,
novel.
JC. Pretty much everybody in the chat's an artist right now.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I get overwhelmed pretty quickly with all of the options out there. So it's always great if somebody contacts me and says, hey, I'd love to get involved with what you're doing. I would really like to create a graphic novel, especially my one series that I have that I've got planned is called The Adventures of Balder and Hod. And that one, I think I'm leaning towards making that a series of graphic novels. And then I definitely want to do comics at some point in the future. My universe is multimedia. So I have the novels. I am currently producing an audio book and an audio drama. Eventually, I'm hoping to do a radio drama, which will be complete with sound effects and music. I am producing songs that go a soundtrack that goes with the material. And then, of course, I have some art and I'm working on getting more. But I want it to be a multimedia experience. And eventually, of course, my big goal is that I'd love to see my material on the silver screen someday.
Hell yeah. I'll tell you what, though, if you're ever looking for a voice actor,
I'm always looking for voice actors, so we're going to definitely have to talk about that.
there's definitely something about Norse mythology that I would love to be part of, a voiceover, anything. In any, that's my genre. So
I can
I would
actually
love
think of a character that you'd be perfect for in my second book, so we definitely need to talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be great. Yeah,
And like
and
I
I
said,
still have
the
other
madness
people
is,
out there too. I'm still looking
yeah,
for
that's what
voice
I was
actors.
going to say. The madness is a networking group. That is what we do. When somebody wants people, or is looking people to help with their project, they make a little post out there in the madness. They usually get hit with more people than they even have a chance to shuffle through. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of people out there that understand what I'm trying to do. The networking, the promotions, to bring everybody to one place to help each other out. There are people there to understand it, and that's why they're there. So you go out there and say, look, this is the project. This is what I need. You'll get responses. There's
Good.
no doubt, and I will be there pushing all the way because, like I said, the project itself is up my alley. And if you want to bring this to the graphic novel game where I get to come out here and it's a comic book, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I've got adventure scenes and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could go that route. And then the other material that I've got that's coming too. Yeah, I've got so much source material to work with. And if you think outside the box and you're a creative person, so many things are open to you that maybe wouldn't be otherwise.
Right. It's also I think our next guest that's coming out later um, is the creator of Magna, the Last Pantheon.
Oh,
He
wow.
also has a lot of mythology wrapped up in that book that he just finished. I think today was the last day you could get it.
Oh, nice.
So, probably going to be talking to him about that a little bit before we jump into his new project. But if he's paying attention, you jump on out here, John, introduce yourself to this nice lady who's also into what you're into, bro. That's what I'm talking about because, um, his book is pretty amazing too. And it brings all the mythologies like together into one book, like Michael Odin's Elysian Fields does, crosses over from one pantheon to the next and whatnot. And
Nice.
it's like, you guys are all blowing me away with all this cool mythology stuff, man. I don't even know what to do half the time because I can't afford to buy it all right. It's like, for me, it's like when there'll be 5, 6, 7 things that all end at the same time that I want to get, and there's no way I can get them all. It's like they're never spaced out It's like there'll be all of the ones I want are all this week.
Oh
You know
no.
what I mean? And then it'll be a month, and it's like, yeah, that's but then all the ones I want are in the same week, and I can't ever afford to get them all at the same time. It's just the poor man's curse. But yeah, that's definitely something that your books are definitely something I'm going to be getting involved with for sure.
Great.
And I encourage everybody else that is into mythology to go check these out, man. Loki of Midgard, The Making of a Magician, and The Taming of the Trickster. Book 1 and Book 2 on Amazon.
Yep.
Loki of Midgard. That's what we do. Go check them out, man.
Yeah, make sure you look at the ones that have the black covers. There is an author out there who released a book called Loki of Midgard during the pandemic. That's not my book.
I saw that. I mean, when you pull up your Amazon, it showed me like all down here at the bottom, customers who viewed this item also viewed. And I'm looking at them, and it's like, oh, that one kind of looks the same, The God Who Fell to Earth. But, oh, that's Oscar. That's not our girl. What's up? And that made me look closer, see? And then I was like, okay, that one's hers. That one's hers. Okay. Because Amazon just kind of threw them all up there together, bunched all up together. Like,
There's a lot of Loki books out there.
And the logos are even, I mean, the way it's written with the square inside the O is even on one of the other books I noticed.
Oh, is it? I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, let's see, which one is it? The God Who Fell to Earth. That's why it caught my attention, because it had the square inside the O. But
is it called
the
Loki?
O isn't. It's Loki, the God Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah, it was just the way that Loki was written that it caught my attention, like it might have been yours. But yours, the O is a diamond with a diamond in it. And there's the O is a O with a diamond in it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
It's close. It was close enough to make me look at it, but then when I looked at the author, I was like, oh, not her. So, yeah, there are books out there that are similar for sure.
Right. And one of them has my exact same title, which I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting, but completely different book, totally different material. But yeah, there's quite a bit of it out there.
Look at all this Loki stuff.
Oh,
Loki,
yeah.
Loki.
Lots of Loki.
The Little Golden Book, the Coloring Book, the Testament of Loki. Yeah, there's lots of Loki. For sure.
Most Loki fans just can't get enough.
Well, I mean, when you hit on something, look, Loki was definitely not the most popular character in the Thor series. I mean, he was the guy, Thor was always whooping on and putting in his place, and he definitely wasn't the most popular guy, but the way the MCU portrayed him Huddleston made Loki popular. I ain't gonna lie. The way he portrayed the character, he made Loki popular. So
yes, he did. He brought that vulnerability out, and everybody went.
Yeah. I would definitely give Tom that, because, like I said, he wasn't the most popular guy, and then all of a sudden he is right there, rivaling Thor as one of the more popular characters.
Oh, yes.
It's good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because he showed a depth and a richness to the character that I think a lot of people hadn't considered, really brought out his humanity. That's what attracted me to the character, was just how human and relatable he was. And I really wanted to focus on that when I did my writing, to just anyone that reads my book to kind of go, I know exactly what Loki's going through right now, so that it could maybe encourage them as they're facing whatever things come to them in their lives, because life's going to throw stuff at you. That's just life. So, and I wanted my literature to do more than just entertain. I wanted there to be deeper underlying messages and encouragement and things that can come out and just, it's that whole theory of a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So if there are deeper underlying lessons, like, how to navigate the issues that might be in a family, for example, or relationship, like conflict resolution in a relationship, those kind of things. I like to write about things that are real, things that happen in life, and just show people, hey, you're not alone. Other people have gone through this. And maybe at some point someone might go, you know what, I think this author knows what I'm facing, what I've experienced. And maybe they might even reach out to me and say, hey, your book really spoke to me. And I love to hear from my readers.
That's good, because you're going to hear from me.
Well, you got to become a reader.
Well, it might take me a little while to get them in my hot little hand, and then a little while after that to get them actually read. But
well, I definitely want to hear what you think. I definitely want to hear that.
You will, because I do read a lot. I mean, it's not all comic books. I have a stack of real books over there, and I have a stack of comic books over there. Okay, comic book stack like this big, real book stack like this big, but I have a waiting list, or plenty to read, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know how it works. Yep.
One thing I try to avoid, though, I try to avoid like Kindles or PDFs or anything that distracts me when I'm here in this chair, because this is where I work. This is where I promote. It's where I set my shows up. I do my scheduling. I do all the event posts and all, this is where I work. If somebody sends me a PDF, I'm sitting in this chair, I'm not working.
Ah, that's true.
When I'm over there, that's when I read. You know what I mean? It's like I try to keep it separate. That way I don't take away from the time. Like I said, when I'm in this chair, I feel like this is when I'm supposed to be doing the work. And I don't want to be distracted from the work. So, I tell people I like PDFs, but I don't look at them because they distract me from promoting your work.
There you go. Can't argue with that.
When I get it in my hot little hand, I got it over there and I read it, And awesome. I'm not a review guy either. I really hate to give reviews. Not because I'm afraid of hurting somebody's feelings or anything like that, because I'm of the opinion that all art is subjective.
That's true.
It's all art is subjective, okay? And something that I don't like, I have no right to go out there and throw shade on it, because somebody else might love it. Love it. And it's not my place to try and tell people one way or the other what, Now, if I love your book, you're obviously going to know, because I'm going to be out there telling people to go buy it. Okay? It's that simple. It's,
awesome.
It's that simple. But I will never tell anybody not to. You see what I'm saying? No matter how bad something is, you'll never see me out there telling people don't buy this. No matter how badly I was treated by somebody, you'll never see me out there telling people don't buy his book. You might not see me promoting it, but you won't see me. You know what I mean? I'll never tell people not to buy something, because you might love it. You might love it. I did. But you might. Nobody's the same. Nobody's taste is the same. Nobody was brought up the same, with the same values, principles, likes, dislikes, all that. We are all individuals. That's why there's so much great stuff to choose from.
That's true.
And I hate when people like try to cut and put that, oh, you don't want to buy that, or that was bad, or I don't like that. It's nobody. I don't care how good a critic is, you still don't know what other people are going to like, and you have no right to go out there and tell people one way or the other whether they should. We all, that's all for individuals. Now then, before you leave, I want you to meet John, because John is a mythology guy too.
Hey, Jennifer, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, John. You too.
Man, I missed. I just hopped on late, so I didn't get to. I'll have to go back and watch the replay to really see what your project is about.
Oh, dude, Loki.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, look. It's. Go ahead, Jennifer. Tell us.
Let's hear it, Jennifer. Give me your elevator speech.
I am the author of a 5-book series called Loki of Midgard, in which I have taken Loki, the god of mischief from Norse mythology, who is actually an Asgardian from another planet, and I have put him on Midgard in the Roaring Twenties.
Oh, nice.
As a traveling magician named Lucas Black, who is hiding his identity on Earth and hiding that he's been going to Earth from his fellow Asgardians.
Ah, okay.
He's living a double life.
Yeah, he is.
And someone's trying to kill him, and he's trying to figure out why.
Asgardian, Midgardian.
He's just coming into his own as the god of mischief.
Nice.
He's not like the guy we know that's just out there tearing shit up, right? He's, dude, I'm so looking forward to getting my hands on this.
So this is a 5-book series?
Yes.
How deep are you into the series so far?
I have published 2 books, and I was supposed to publish the 3rd one when the pandemic started. So I've had a lot of production delays. So that one's not out yet, but it is coming soon. Okay. And I'm also going to be introducing a prequel called A Pawn's Game. And that's going to have Loki as a little boy, but mostly focused on his mother, Frigga. And then I've got a ton of other spin-off series. I've got The Adventures of Balder and Hod. I have The Frozen Star. I have it's a little crazy. I've got
that sounds really cool.
And John, she wants to turn it into a graphic novel.
As she should, because pantheons translate very well.
Ooh.
The comic book format.
Let me enlarge that for you.
This is this campaign is actually ending in the next week. Magna the Last Pantheon Volume 1. But I want to encourage you that this is the best time ever to be, especially in the world of comics. It's the best time ever to be an independent comic book publisher. There's shows like Pop's show. There's a lot of shows. Where you can go on, you can get exposure. It's funny. I mean, I'm reading comic books, but this is a novel that I picked up kind of through the same circle.
Yes, I've been promoting that one too.
Yeah, Sunsworn. So I just started it. You can see I'm not too far into it yet, but I'm enjoying it. So I mean, it's very much a crossover in terms of people. As a kid, I started off reading comics. And then comics are what got me into reading fiction and science fiction. So there's very much kind of a big crossover between the audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So no, I'm gonna give that a look. Awesome. There's been a lot of good auteurs. Writing novels, writing comic books, and just a lot of good stuff out there. So I'm enjoying the independent comic book world and book world, as you can see.
I'm telling you, when I first saw what she had going on, I was hooked right away. I was what? Loki? Okay, I gotta look. We gotta see what it's about. And then I talked to her for a while, and it was like, oh yes.
There you go.
And then I mean, she threw it out there. She's always looking for artists. She has a plan. She wants to expand this into our world. It's like, yeah, man, I'm totally down.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Oh, you're good, Rod. Don't worry about it, man. This is the most relaxed show on the web. I promise you.
I'm here working, but I'm here.
Rod's my guy. We've been working together for over 16 years now, Rod. Right, Rod? We've been working together. And the project we've been working on is Black Tiger. So this first volume we published last year, Legacy of Fury. Rod is a madman. It's 172 pages of graphic novel Fury, drawn by my dude, Rod Luper. He has put up with me that long. And we actually have the second volume that will be launching on the 18th. It'll be 75 pages, so still a meaty graphic novel. I don't think we're going to do another one that big anytime soon. and it continues the story of this new wielder of the Black Tiger power, Jin Fong, and starts to tell her story.
That looks awesome.
Oh, thank you. Shit, thank you.
This is John Running is in the chat, who's also going to come out here in a little while. He's got a piece of art, I think, that he wants to give away or something to that effect.
Ooh.
John's one of our guys, you know. Jennifer, I'm not going to chase you off. You want to hang out while John does his thing, you're more than welcome to. If you do have to check out, by all means, tell everybody.
Yeah,
again,
I
you
do.
know, where to find you.
I've got some other things I have to do tonight, but you guys have a blast, and thank you so much for having me on. And anybody out there who wants to interview me, I'd love to do it. I love this kind of stuff, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of this community.
Very cool.
For sure.
I can't wait to find out who's going to do the art for your book.
Do you have a Twitter handle?
Yes, I do.
It's down there. It's
Oh, yeah, there it is. I see it.
I'm not super active on Twitter, to be honest. I really need to be more on top of that.
You on Instagram? I'm not as active on Instagram.
I'm not very active on Instagram either. Most of my stuff I do on Facebook, but I am trying to get.
Facebook is actually a great platform.
Yeah. I'm trying to branch out into the other areas. I've got all the most of the social media. I have Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter and all of those things. But yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I got to get more on top of it. It's hard to stay focused on social media when you're writing, and I don't think you heard this, but I'm also producing an audiobook, and I'm a busy lady.
That's
all of us
like me are for, Jennifer. That's what people like me are for. Well, I will take some of that burden off you when it comes to promoting and getting it out there for you, getting it seen, so that you can concentrate more on producing the actual product. Okay,
it's always multiple jobs. You got to market it, you got to produce it, you got to distribute it. So
yeah,
it's very important.
That is the world. That is the world of independent distribution.
Yeah, myself, William Pace over there at Creators Outlet, Varian at Indie Bolt, RJ at Critical Blast. All these people will interview you and drop a dime.
That's right.
And more.
Yeah, Williams had me on his show, but yeah, any of these other people that you've mentioned, reach out to me. I'd love to do more interviews. It's been great fun.
There are so many. I'll make sure I spread your name around.
Sounds good to me.
Pleasure to meet you, Jennifer.
Yes, you too. You guys have a really good show. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
All right.
What's going on, Pops?
Cool, man. She's cool. And that book has just a great concept to it. And then when she said graphic novel, I was like, yes, I'm getting somebody a job.
That sounds fun.
So y'all out there, you heard her. She's interested in putting this down as a graphic novel. There's 5 books that, might turn into 10 graphic novels. I don't know the actual length of her books, but, that could turn into some big, thick ones.
Yeah, really good.
Oh, for sure.
So, people that are always talking about starving artists, get a hold of Jennifer. Tell her you want to draw Loki and Midgard.
There you go.
So how you doing, John?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm bummed that I missed the last CromCon. That was on me. And this upcoming one, my son has a basketball tournament that weekend. So, just trying to, trying to juggle all those things because I don't get any of that time back. But at the same time, want to make sure that I'm doing service, that I'm promoting the books well,
Well, what I mean, I got you even when you can't make it.
I appreciate that.
We're going to talk about you out there during that weekend. We always do.
I appreciate that, man.
I mean, that's the cool thing about this. It's like you get different people out and they get 20 minutes into their 30 minutes and they're like, I want to talk about somebody else. And you guys all do that for each other. So even if you don't make it, somebody's still like thinking about you and going, hey, let's talk about John's thing for a minute. And every time you have not been able to make it, we've still covered your book.
That's amazing.
I mean,
that's amazing.
You know,
But that's why I love this community. You know, it's like there's so many good properties, so much good product out there. Like whether it was like the Sunsworn I was just showing, or you know, there's so many good books that are in production, and everybody's helping everybody. So it's like if you have questions, you don't have to learn the hard way. You can ask. You know, I guarantee you, we've all made the mistakes that need to be made. All you got to do is ask, and people will tell you the stuff they've done.
I mean, there's somebody that comes to mind immediately when it comes to, like, people come to me for advice, and you guys know I'm not a creative. I never run a Kickstarter. I don't have none of this info y'all want, although it seems like I might be that guy because I'm out here all the time talking to you guys. But I have a couple names, you know, and it's like, oh, you have a question about that? Go talk to this guy.
Yep.
Because I know that guy will be receptive.
Yeah.
And will help this person out. It's like I have my little list of different people that are good for different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like William Samuel Quentin, man. I will send anybody to him when it comes to setting up your campaign and the kind of things you need to do to be ready when and if it takes off.
Right.
To be ready.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what he's doing out there right now, instant fulfillment. You order a book, it's in your hand this week.
Yeah.
Because he's got it all printed. He's got everything ready. All he does is package it up as soon as he gets an order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's that far ahead of the game. So when somebody asks me, hey, man, what do I need to do about this? You need to go talk to WSQ. That's what you need to do.
There you go. Yeah. And see how it can be done.
And there's other people for other things like shipping. I send them to RJ, you know, I mean, overseas shipping. It's like, go talk to RJ. It's like different people are grabbing their piece, and it's like they're making it known that they're the go-to guy. And so I throw it, you know.
Yeah.
Same with Barry and Liberty Entertainment Distribution, trying to get people's books on store shelves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm out here talking about him. Everybody that's doing something to help you guys out, I'm talking about them.
See, and that's the way it works. But that's the reason why the ecosystem works. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the old guard where it was just, you know, a couple of companies that were publishing one distribution through Diamond into one giant Bible of a book that retailers look at. Now it is a complete ecosystem. Everybody that wants to participate is an important participant. People that have shows are important participants. People that tweet and retweet and I'll tell you, some of the biggest kicks that I've gotten on books have just been from people, and you can see it in the statistics. You know, people like Frog G, or you know, people like Tampa, man, he'll move books for you just by sending out stuff. And he doesn't have a show, he doesn't make a book, but he just shares, and he's known for sharing.
And everything I see that he shares, I share.
Yeah.
I read.
I share all his stuff too, because I'm just like, because it's like he packages everything nicely. He'll put like 4 cool campaigns on one thing. I'm like, oh, cool. All I got to do is reshare what he shared. That's cool.
He puts in the work on those titles, and it's like, he's got that covered. You just retweet that, and you know, it's like you move on to the next set.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so many great people that we're promoting all the time, though. Frog, dude, Frog is. I'm gonna call him the master moderator, because dude is modding every single channel.
As he should, though. Know? I mean, he's got a wrench on every channel, but he earned that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man.
He earned that.
Yeah, he's sharing everybody's stuff in every single stream. There's Frog sharing your link. There's Frog. It's like, those are the people that understand what we're trying to do in the madness. I mean, and I totally love those people, because they give us, man, we expanded like 300 or 400 people
That's amazing.
through going out to Twitter, you know, I mean, through Frog, through Simon, through Chris, you know, I mean, we expanded a lot through that, you know.
But that's the way, man. That's the way.
And those dudes like Chris, and Sim, they're very consistent.
Mm.
You know, I mean, multiple times a week, those dudes are doing shows.
And then there's this guy.
Nice.
And then there's this guy. See, Jim gets it. Tampa is a promotion god, man. The dude is out there and he does the work. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I love when I see one of his posts because that means that's 5 or 6 books I don't have to worry about. I just hit that share button, hit that retweet.
That's right.
Drop that in the group. You know?
That's right. That's right. And there you go, off to the races. You know, you just shared 4 books, just like, you know.
He definitely makes my job easy. And everybody who self-promotes makes my job easy. Okay? If you drop your link in the group in the morning, you're guaranteed that Pops is going to share it out to Twitter.
That's right.
Pops is going to share it up to my news feed. Pops is going to share it out in a couple other groups. If I see it, it's got to be where I can see it. The
Exactly.
first thing I look in the morning is in my group.
Yeah.
Those are my people. Those are the people I'm looking out for first.
That's right.
So, you know, if you drop that link in the madness, chances are that link's getting shared out first thing in the morning.
Exactly.
And then I encourage everybody to do it again in the evening because our stream, our feed does move.
Oh yeah. There you get a lot of movement in the madness. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I tell everybody do it again in the evening, so I can do it again in the evening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But this is what makes all of this possible because none of us have marketing budgets. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So at the end of the day, it's like every penny you have is going towards production. You know, marketing is completely social media sharing. But the thing that's cool about that, though, is it really makes everybody interdependent. You know, and it's like, so you share a book, you know, it's like you're saying, okay, I'm willing to invest in this book. So then if you come around again, then the person is saying, okay, I tried this guy's stuff before and I'm willing to invest again. And you're like, okay, you know, now we're starting to build something here. Now we're starting to get somewhere, you know, where you're like, okay, this person they were willing to invest the first time, but now there must have been something there that they liked.
Right.
You know, to come back again or to come back a third time. And I feel like as an industry, because we are an industry in and of ourselves, we're growing and new people are being added all the time. And I see so many more new projects. It's just like, it's amazing. I'm like, wow, there's so many projects out there.
Look,
Good
there's
looking
so much
projects.
stuff out there, and I'm such a broke ass. Look, man, it's like I want to buy 35 books right now.
Yeah.
At least there's at least 35 books out there right now, either in the pre-stages, in the campaign, or near the end of, like yours, okay, near the end of that I haven't been able to get on board with yet.
Yeah.
You know, and man, like Michael Oden's Elysian Fields, the second one, Pyramid Gambit.
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't get that. I was, you know, we were hurting. We were COVID struck. You know, there was a 4 or 5 month period I couldn't buy nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was like I was asking my son for birthday present for back this book for me for my birthday, back this book for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, that was like the 2 books I got last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was pretty bad. So, I mean, man, I see now there's just so many.
I know.
Many.
I know. But you know,
you guys are all killing it.
It's the community, though. It's the community because Rod and I, you know, I mean, we're all kind of new to this part of the game, which is kind of cool. Everybody's kind of started from ground zero.
Yeah.
Rod and I, we've been in the self-publishing game for a long time. And I'll tell you, you know, the old way, going through Diamond, man, it wasn't viable. It wasn't a viable way because you didn't get the data to know what shops were even picking up your books. You know, if you had small runs, so Diamond didn't want to do reprints. They didn't want to do small runs of reprints. So you couldn't so even if a shop sold out of your book, you probably weren't going to be able to get the book back. You know, so I mean, it's just like the world is so much different now. Now you can go directly to the people that want your content. Conversely, they can reach out directly to you, which you couldn't do before either as a comic book buyer. You know, you buy a comic book, but you think Marvel editorial really cares what you have to say, or
see, that's the thing that people don't realize is back in the day, everybody was hidden in that bullpen.
Oh yeah,
you only knew who the big boys were. You didn't know who any of them other people were, right?
no.
You only knew who the big boys were. Somebody who, like Claremont, who broke out with something amazing, and everybody went, "Oh my God, this guy's awesome!" You know. But most of the people working for the big two, you didn't know who they were.
No, and you had no
now,
connection
how
to
many
them. No
people that
connection.
I have met in the last year that I have their content in my boxes.
Yeah.
That I had no idea that they were part of the big two or whatever, or they worked on that book or that. Look at all the stuff Mike Barron did.
Oh man.
Punisher, all that stuff, right? When
Yeah.
I met Mike Barron, all I knew about was Florida Man. Really. And Nexus. I mean, I knew about Nexus and Florida Man, but that was about it. I didn't really know that he had done so much other stuff for Marvel. You know? And it's the same with Rich Parada. Come on, we met Rich in Cantessi.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know Rich had worked on all this old Marvel stuff and inked over Keith Williams, and you know, I mean, come on, man. Rich was stuck in the bullpen. Nobody knew who Rich was.
Nobody knew who he was.
Rich got his work in a lot of books.
Yep.
Now I got a damn Rich Page from Incantessi on my
wow,
wall,
man.
baby. You know, it's like, yeah. And I didn't know Rich had that kind of a background when I met him.
Yeah.
I mean, when I met, you know how I met Rich? It's a funny story. It was like CromCon 1, I think, and Keith Williams was one of the guests. And Rich hits me up in my inbox. I never heard of this guy. He ain't my friend. I don't know who he is. He's like, hey, man, Keith Williams is like a mentor. He's like a father to me, man. Can I come out and surprise him in this segment? And I'm like, okay.
You're like, sure, bro.
I mean, he was really passionate about it, you know. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to stop this guy from saying hi to his friend, you know.
Yeah.
That's how I met Rich.
That's cool.
Nice.
You know, I mean, I had no idea who he was or any of his background or anything, because he was one of those people that was hidden in the Marvel bullpen.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at his work now, you look at what he just did, and it's freaking amazing, man.
Yeah. That's
You
the
know?
truth. There's so much talent out there. I mean, I know Rod has worked, you know, from working on Star Wars to working in animation. So I know his, you know, it's like, you know, you may not know his name, but you see his work and you're like, oh my gosh.
Hey, RJ, I just referred Jennifer Meinking to you for her book, Loki of Midgard.
It's true, RJ. It's true.
Yeah.
It's damn true.
Facts.
For sure.
That's how we do it. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about Rod, because this is the first time I met Rod.
Oh man, I like John said. Oh, let me fix the light. I'm working with comics and illustration for a long 20 years already. I work with Star Wars. I work with Dungeons and Dragons. I did a few editions of Ghosts, but I always want to publishing my stuff, even when I was working for the publishers. So I tried to break in on Marvel DC. I produced, I don't know, 300 sample pages of Batman, Spider-Man, whatever you name it. I did sample pages.
These pages were fire, like that Captain America that you did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Captain America, everyone. But I never receive a good answer. It's always like, oh, next month, maybe in 6 months. So you start to grow up, and you need money to pay the bills, so you don't have time to lose, make sample pages and not receive anything. So I produce some comic books here in Brazil, because I live in Brazil, in São Paulo, Brazil. I published some comics, and then in 2003 or 4, or I don't remember, I met John in a forum named Digital Web,
See, there was no social media at that time.
No social media, man. No,
it was a forum.
No Twitter,
I literally posted in a forum, and you're just kind of in the void, hoping that somebody cool is gonna that's awesome is gonna respond, and that's what happened.
And it's a funny story. I saw the draws, the concept art from the characters from Black Tiger that he did with a friend of mine, and I even knew what it was, but I recognized the style, and I called to my friend and said, "Man, do you know a guy named John Hervey? He's looking for an artist." And then the guy said, "Man, I'm dropping in because I want to be a tattoo artist. Comic book is not for me." And I said to him, "Man, can I send a message to this guy? I really want to produce comic books, indie comic books." I said, "Man, go for it." Then I get an email from John, and we start to change emails, and we click it, man, because John has a very beyond the business mind. He have a really open mind that is important for me as an artist. I work with many writers that does allow to to play with those characters. I gave many ideas, and the writer said, "No, it's my idea, it's my baby. You just draw." So I felt like, man, not for me, because I have this kind of creative mind too. And with John is always open mind. He always listen, and this fire me up. So it's passing years and years, and sometimes I had to stop to produce Black Tiger, this first graphic novel, because I received a huge proposal to work in Australia as a concept artist. So I traveled there and worked there for 2 years inside a video game company, AAA. But John always sent me a mail saying, "Man, this month, can you draw 2 pages?" And I said, "Oh, bro, I'm feeling at work, bro.
I
I
mean,
can't."
Rod would
One
send me a
page,
message
one
like,
page.
"Dude, I'm working like 120 hours a day." I'm like, "Bro, do you think you could draw 1 page this month?"
Just one, just one. Oh man. But we were friends already, so it was not just like a contracted work. John was my friend now. But back at that time, I consider him my friend. I said, "Man, I need to draw this page." So I worked it from 8 to 5 inside the video game company. I get the bus, arrive at home, stay with the wife. Sometimes I did some freelance for cards, illustration.
Right.
Then when I finish it, I start to work on John pages, like midnight until 3 a.m. Then I will sleep and get back again to work. And I did that for many months. You know what I mean? And sometimes in Sunday I drop in the bed and bam, sleep like the fucking whole day. You know what I mean? And the wife was mad about saying, "Man, you died for so many hours drawing," but it was something that called me to do it. You know what I mean? I could drop it, Black Tiger project, and then many years pass. I get back to Brazil, and we keep it up. We keep it up. We keep it up, and then it show up Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Then I talk with John and say, "Man, now the things are changing. Now, now we can produce our comics." Uh, and receive the support of the fans that will invest in Black Tiger. And then John said, "Let's try. Let's try a campaign." He did a first campaign Kickstarter. It was very well. And I said to him, "Man, I think Indiegogo is better because it's more free. Uh, you can put any project there." And he tried and put it in, goes well too. And now he's trying Magna, goes well too. Because one good thing about John is that he have this kind of business mind. He always planning forward. He's not so Black Tiger and Magna. He already had all the pages done. He just make new pages to put inside and make it better and release the campaign. So people look outside and see that could be easy to have a graphic novel like that, but man, it took 15 years to produce. It's not something easy, you know what I mean? And it's all John merit because man, this guy. Think about a guy that is persist. Is John, man. John never give up. This is something that I admire on him and inspire me a lot. He never give up. I said many times, I said, man, 10 years of production. This guy would give up. He'll give up on Black Tiger. That's it. 10 years. And then 1 year more, 1 year more, 14, 15. And we have the beautiful graphic novel today in a
Let me see.
slipcase.
Hold up. Let me get that.
That's the hardcover right there, baby.
Hardcover and slipcase. Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's a 172-page hardcover.
15 years of work, kids, is not something easy to do, but it's achievable if you are persistent and you never give up.
Well, when I first met John, I think you just finished or were just finishing Black Tiger #1, right?
That's right. So we were just finishing that graphic novel, and kind of we had been producing for a while, even though at the time we didn't have a distribution mechanism, we were trusting there was going to be one. Thanks for signing up, Pops.
You bet.
The thing is, what our business model now is, we don't want people to feel like the part of the risk is whether they're going to get the book or not. So pretty much every book is almost completely produced, or is 90-something% produced. So like this, the pages Rod's working on now are for the next volume of Black Tiger Hidden Dragon. And there's actually he's working on the last 10 pages for the next volume of Black Tiger Hidden Dragon. So Black Tiger Hidden Dragon, all the pencils, all the inks, the majority of the colors are done. The first 1/3 of the book, I already sent it to the letterer. So by the time that campaign is over, we'll have production completed. And this is the next volume that Rod is giving you a sneak peek of some of the amazing work he's doing on this book. I'm telling you that the art and the story, it goes, it's like Super Saiyan. I mean, it's next level. And the fun thing is that Rod challenges me. And one of the things is he said, hey, these are some elements that I want to see in this story. Can you write around that? Or can you write that? And I was like, oh, most definitely. So Black Tiger being a power that is, a mantle that's held throughout time. It gave us the opportunity to go back in time and tell a story during feudal Japan that is relevant to what our heroine is actually encountering at this time. So you get a little bit of Black Tiger history. You get a very cool feudal Japan story, and you continue to move forward the existing Black Tiger mythos.
Dude, that art is amazing.
Let me tell you, man.
A lot more.
And he has that. So the volume that people would be signing up for now is 75 pages. The volume he's almost done with, that he has only 10 pages left, is another 75. So basically, we want to be able to, our thought process right now is being able to do 3 campaigns a year. So as you know, Magna is closing on the 17th. So for those of you that didn't pick up Magna, as you can see, the books are already here and we're sending them out. So we're finishing fulfillment, just waiting for a couple of commissions to be done. We're closing the Magna campaign out on the 17th of May. We're launching this one on the 18th, and we want to try and keep a 4-month cycle. So after we do the campaign and we fulfill, we'll close down Black Tiger Hidden Dragon Volume 1. We'll release Volume 2 of Magna. Then after Volume 2 of Magna, we're going to release Volume 2 of Black Tiger Hidden Dragon. And then we have other products after that. So we're just going to keep the ball rolling.
Cool. John wants to know how long it takes you to do a page there, Rod.
It depends, man. I always was a slower artist. I prefer like that. I worked many times with deadline, insane deadline, like to produce 4 or 5 pages in a week. But I prefer maximum 2 pages inked per week or 3. So it depends. Like I did a page with the samurais fighting many small figures and took almost 3 days. but I did a page with 3 panels and huge figures that I took it one day to draw in ink. So it depends a lot. But I prefer to produce less pages and more quality than usually what we see in the American market is like an industry. Like all Wednesday need to have comic books in the shelves. So I prefer indie because of that. I can produce and I can evolve slower, and so that's why I keep working with John, because John is a nice guy. He's allowed me to produce 2 pages.
I got a feeling John's gonna keep you working till you're grave ridden, bro.
Let me tell you, man. Rod is amazing, and we've really built out this universe together, and the amount of detail that he puts. I mean, it's like you can just hang out in some of these panels for a long time and just enjoy the detail of the panels. You know, it's funny. One of the guys, Brandon, Phoenix Animation, he does a lot of stuff in metal. And he made this. We're going to have these in the campaign. But this is basically a bookmark. It's a metal bookmark. And this dragon is a dragon that's in the book. And this is a dragon that manifests itself in like a 4-story mall. And Rod drew a full page of this dragon manifesting in a mall, and you can see people on all 4 levels of the mall, how they're reacting. You know, people, you know, parts of the mall getting destroyed. I mean, you want to talk about just artwork that just takes your breath away. That's what he does, but he does that on every page. You know, so I mean, it's like he keeps raising the bar, which also, as a writer, continues to get me to raise the bar, because I'm like, I need to write something that's moving the story forward, but that is awesome. You know, that so Rod can continue, and that's where we're going. And part of us being beyond time is we're not telling stories completely linearly. We're taking, you know, some snippets out of different parts of time. Kind of, it works well with Black Tiger, and just having fun, telling stories, but using the full medium of comics to the advantage that you can. Because really, what are your constraints in comics? You have, page rates, but your imagination is it. Because in a comic, you can go anywhere as fast as you want to, as often as you want to. You're not constrained like you're in a TV show with a budget. You don't have like a movie budget. Part of the problem with comics is people are writing comics, but they're having TV and movie in mind. So they're constraining their budgets. They're constraining their worlds. Rod and I said, listen, we need to just let this thing explode. Like old school, you know, Kirby Stan Lee style, where the Fantastic Four, you know, they start in the Baxter building, they go to the Negative Zone, they go to Latveria, and they do all this stuff in the course of 22 pages. Wherever the story needs to go, let it go.
Let it go. Why not? It's comic book, people.
Yeah.
Just imagination and go. You know what I mean?
Well, I know when he was holding up those pages, I didn't have enough time to really look at each one of them. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to pause this on each one of those pages. Because just like you said, there's a lot of stuff there that you could get lost in if you have the time to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back and look at it because it was amazing stuff, man. And not only that, but it's like another one of those genres where Pops thrives, you know. Feudal Japan, mythological Greece, mythological Norway. All these places are like, that's, you know.
Well, that's the fun of it, too, even as a writer. And Rod knows that I can be insane when I write. But the beauty of comics when they're done well is the art's telling part of the story, and the lettering and the wording is just telling the part that you don't see or helps you transition. But Rod's art tells so much of the story.
Well, you know, what I was going to say is like you could almost follow where the story's going just on the page.
Absolutely can. If you flip through the books, you will have a very good feeling and flow of exactly what's happening. And then the words, if you go back, and this is what my old boss at Motown when I worked for Michael Davis, who was one of the founders of Milestone, and he formed Motown Machine Works. This was back in the 90s when, you know, Image was booming. He formed a deal, and he was getting distributed by Image. And that was the first time I was published working for him, getting distributed by Image. We would go over to Melrose. There was a Golden Apple, the big comic book store, and we would go there, and we would, you know, we're comic book guys. You know, we're gonna geek out. We're gonna look at what's new. And sometimes I'd hang out with my boss, and I'd watch how he went through books. He'd pick up a book and he'd go through it first. I'm like, aren't you ruining the book? He's like, no. He's like, I'm checking the flow of the book. He's like, I should be able to see how a book flows. He said the sequential art isn't working if I can't see how the book flows. He's like, but then the writing isn't working if the writing is telling me things that I can already see. You know, so he would go through a book first and already have an idea of what's going on. Okay, now the story's got to fill in the gaps. If the writing doesn't fill in the gaps from what I just saw, then the writing is not good writing. If the writing's telling me things that I've already ascertained just by looking at the pages, I've already ascertained that by looking at the flow of the book. You're not doing your job. You don't need to be an expositor of what I already see.
Yeah, don't describe what we're already looking at. Describe the thought process. Describe what's going on in the characters' heads, because that's the only part of this story we can't see right now.
Describe the part I can't see. That's it. You know, and then with that guidance, he really helped me, because the first story that I wrote for him, he told me, and I still have a tendency to do it, but like Rod pulls me back, and my editor pulls me back. He's like, you overwrote it. I was like, what do you mean I overwrote it? He's like, you're telling me things that need to be shown. You know, and that's a big, I think when a story is well written and the art is good, you won't see nearly as many words on the page as was written, because the artist is able to translate a lot of what was said into the art.
I will throw an example up there for you. Thor number 380.
380.
It is the battle between Thor and the Midgard serpent. It is splash page after splash page of Walt Simonson's art telling you the story.
Yeah.
There's very little dialogue. I mean, what's he going to say to the snake? Have at these, Jormungandr.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, I mean, that's.
It's like, how many times are you going to say that?
And then he's whooping his ass, right? There is no dialogue here. The whole book is splash page after splash page of Walt Simonson telling you the story with very little words.
That's it.
So nice.
Exactly what you're talking about.
That's it.
Masterwork.
And as a big fan of like the Hong Kong movies, and even the old 80s Frank Miller kind of fight scenes, I love well choreographed fights.
Yeah.
So Rod knows I can be insane about that, but he does an amazing job. So it's like following the flow of fights, following the flow of how, you know, kind of it's going is important. But then also it's like, you know, you're not going to have a complete, you know, just like a tirade or diatribe in the middle of a fight. You know, let the fight be what it is. And just like John said, an effective artist will always be able to tell you everything you need to know, regardless of the dialogue. It's like you said, it's the only thing you can't see is what those characters are thinking, what they're about to say, and what they're about to do. What they're about to do is in the next panel. Yep.
What's in their mind is the only thing you cannot see, or the narration of the guy who's this shadow in the background or whatever. You might get a little corner thing about check the guy out in the background, you know, but you know what I mean? There's the art does the work. The writer brings the premise, brings the story, brings the characters, brings their backstories. The artist brings it to the visual medium. Yeah. That's the bottom line. And that's why it's really like peanut butter and jelly. This is a visual medium at the end of the day, but it needs to be well written. I mean, you know, I've gotten books where the art pops, but I'm just like, this story it's not compelling me at all. I don't feel anything, you know, I mean, these are some cool pages, but
it's not doing anything for me. It's because, there is substantive writing behind good stories, even if you don't see the writing on the page. Right. You have to have a good story where you're with your red thread and moving your characters forward. I think we're all big about that. You've got to be moving your story forward in a way that's material, in a way that people care about. And at the end of the day, for me, that's entertainment. I'm not looking for a story like some people, when they look at stories, they're looking for, maybe I would have done something different. That's never how I approach a story, because I don't want to see what I would have written. I want to see what that person is writing. I want to see, okay, so what are you going to do now? Right. Okay, you got this character in this predicament. How are you going to get him out? Are they getting out? What's happening? I'm still a kid when I pick up comics. I pick up a comic to see what somebody's going to do, as opposed to, oh man, should have gone in this direction instead.
Now I'm always trying to figure out, where's this going? Yeah. I'm always trying to use my deductive thinking. Where's this going to go? And I love when I'm surprised.
Yes.
I love when I didn't figure it out. I didn't know where damn, I didn't see that coming. I love those things. But at the same time, you get caught up in that overanalyzing it at the same time. It's like, because then you're like, oh man, I might have done this. I'm not a writer, so I don't have to get caught up in that kind of thing. I just get to be the fan and go, oh, I didn't see that coming. Damn, that was a good twist. And
sometimes you're just like, sometimes they're going down a path and they're like, are they going to have the cojones to do what needs to be done to wrap up the story? Oh, wow, they actually did it.
Yeah, they did it. Yeah.
They were headed down, they didn't bail. They were headed down this path. I think I know where this is headed, but I don't know if they're going to have the balls to do it. Ooh, right. They actually did it. Okay, awesome.
So you guys want to watch this video real quick?
Let's watch the video.
I'm going to go ahead and bring John. John's in the background. I'm going to go ahead and bring him out here so he can watch it too. Let's go ahead and check out the video.
Hey, John.
Black Tiger Hidden Dragon.
Yes, sir. How's it going, John?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying about effective storytelling, but yeah, dude. Your artist really knows what he's doing. That's some good work. Great eye for composition.
That's you, Rod.
I was going to go as far as to say I love the video. Who put the video together the way they start in one small spot of the page and then backed out away where you could see all the art that was on the page?
That's my hack job. Dude, using some Adobe products. But the music is a buddy of mine, Scott Thrill, and he makes just amazing beats. And that, it's like, that sets the mood at the end of the day. You play the same video without the music, it's just not nearly as compelling.
Oh, yeah, music is perfect.
But the artwork's amazing. Rod has done an amazing job. I agree with you completely, John. I mean, the composition and the flow. One of the things I love about the book is how he incorporates flow into the pages, and he does it so many different ways. I remember, one page where he used kind of like the old you use the smoke.
Oh yeah,
Rod
Eisner. Oh my.
Old white, yeah, exactly. Like Will Eisner style, using the smoke. Other pages he just like, it was kind of like people were getting hit it was drawing your eye to the next punch. You know, so it's just like this is how I really see it. I really see myself as a writer. I'm kind of a director too, because I always give my 2 cents about exactly how I want to look at, but he's really the cinematographer. So like he'll say like, oh, I see what you're trying to do, but here's a better way to do it. Oh, or I see what you're trying to do. That's insane. That ain't gonna work. Or, you know, but when you have that kind of camaraderie and truthfulness, because he'll push back, I'll push back. We always end up somewhere where we both say like, okay, wow, okay, that's good stuff. Yeah. Let's go with that.
But one thing I saw Rod doing in one of the pages there is, and I don't see a lot of artists do this. I did this once in a comic a long time ago, but I saw that you had panels broken down. It was one picture, but you were still breaking up the panel, which I thought was really cool. Like the legs were extending over to another panel, and that's really effective. A lot of people don't do that. That's good. Really good, especially for action sequences.
Yeah, and I like to conduct the eye of the reader. So, like I said, the guys see the leg and then they drop in one direction. Some guys pointing for another panel, and then something point for another panel. Man, this is
you're killing a couple birds with one stone. You're creating a big epic piece that shows everything, and you're also using the camera on that, you know, and guiding the reader through. So good shit.
I love it to do that.
And he's also done it some cool ways with like collage type images too. Like some pages are just like collage, so it's like there's no borders or barriers, but he's still drawing your eye to the different parts of the collage on the page. I love it.
I noticed your eye, Rod, for composition. You know, that takes years and years and years of perfecting, man. Good shit.
I remember when I was working a long time ago. Soon after Image Comics arrived, Marvel tried to copy some kind of storytelling, and I think it was Adam Kubert drawing Wolverine, was also drawing, but he was a little confused because he wanted to make like Image Comics, so big shapes, big Wolverine, but then you start to read and you forget yourself, like say, wait a minute, where should I look in the page, you know what I mean? And that's stick in my mind and say, oh, I can't do that, man. I need to. Then I go back to the base. Will Eisner storytelling, something that works. Frank Miller at the beginning, Daredevil. Oh, I was crazy about Daredevil, Frank Miller, man. It's so small panels, little holding up the reader, you know what I mean? They blow up, and they're rolling up again, blow up, rolling up. This stick in my mind, and I always like to work with layouts. I always send, even John know me for 20 years. I could draw from my eyes closed, and he would trust me that it would be good. But I prefer to do layouts first.
Yeah.
Before I start to draw, even if I'm crazy to draw a ninja, I don't care. I always think in this story first. I always read it and I say, no, let's try this way. Or sometimes he said, man, I need to make a guy fighting here, the arm there, the leg there. I said, John, this doesn't work. Bro. This is
do you do the coloring also?
No.
Are you also the colorist?
Pencil and inks. Now I'm doing inks.
Oh, okay.
So
I work with coloring, concept art, and illustration, but it takes too much time, man, to come.
The colors in the comic look really good. They really pop.
No, I tell you what I love with the colors. I mean, when I was talking with the colorist and I was like, you see the pencils and you see the inks that I'm working with, so I said, you can tell I'm exceptionally anal. And his take was like, well, he was like, the colors are like the music in a movie.
Yeah, no doubt.
And when he said that, I was in love. He's like, the colors set the mood. He's like, people should be able to see panels, and they should be able to understand the mood of that panel before they read anything in there. I'm like, oh man, yes,
that's
freaking yes.
Well, most comics nowadays are more cinematic than anything else, So I mean, we're all kind of drawn from film in the end, and films use lighting in order to, get those movies across. I'm doing the same thing in my book. So.
Camera angles, wide angles. I mean, narrow panels. You guys do all of the same things that they do with cameras. And actually, you guys were doing it just as long as they've been doing it with Campbell.
That's true. That's very true.
It's true.
It's very fucking true.
Yeah, and I think we need to, as a producer of comic books today, we need to think that for the young generation, we are competing with Netflix, Amazon, video games, mobile phones. Man, you need to have a good story, good characters, good art. Otherwise, the guy you say, nah, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will watch a Netflix.
I almost got caught up in one of those earlier today. I was sitting here and the Assassin's Creed movie came on. Now, I've never watched this, okay? And I almost got caught up in it. And I was like, no, that's a video game, damn it. And I changed channel. I was like, I was like, I didn't want them to ruin my impression of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I refused to watch the movie. You know what I mean? Because look what they do to so many great IPs.
Yeah.
It takes this one messed up director to screw it up for everybody.
Well, I think there's always a challenge going across media. It's a lot harder than it looks or seems.
John made a short movie from Black Tiger. He can say he's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you guys can watch it on my YouTube channel. We made it back in 2014. It actually starred Robin Shue, who was the original Liu Kang. It has Angela Fong, who was a WWE diva, and a buddy of mine who I went to college with. He was at the film school at SC, and he loved the property and just said, like, "Hey, man, I would love to help you make this into a movie." Because I've been writing for a long time across different media, whether it was TV or movies or novels, but that was the extent of it. I was like, listen, I'm going to be very little to no help. He's like, don't worry. He's like, I've got a cinematographer. I know how I want to direct this. And they did an amazing job, putting that short together. What's that?
Where can we see this at?
Go to At Beyond Time Inc. on YouTube. It's a 20-minute short. It's there for anyone to watch.
You're gonna have to send me that link in my YouTube or in my inbox so I can go check that out later.
Send the link on the private chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that, and you guys can check it out. So comics are my love. It's the first medium I ever fell in love with. If it wasn't for comics, I probably wouldn't have been reading. And I've kind of come full circle because growing up, I always wanted to see these heroes in different media, and I've enjoyed it. But now that I've seen them all in different media, I realize how important it is for comics to be comics because there are things that you can do in comics that you just can't do in the other media.
Right.
Even animation. I mean, there's just something special about a comic and the ability with whatever our budget doesn't change whether we're telling a story that is inside one room in one house or if I'm spanning all the way across the universe and beyond. It doesn't change.
That is factual.
There's no other media that can. That's not true in any other media.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
That actually is like I look at it like, well, I mean, like I was saying today, I didn't even want to watch to see how well they cast the movie because I just didn't want to know. It's like my perception of Assassin's Creed is not a movie. It's not a TV show. It's a video. And I'm looking at it because that was the entertainment. That was the entertainment when I found it. That was the entertainment. What it was. Making it into a movie went, okay, so you took one possible set of, like, I mean, 50,000 people play this game and they all have to play it exactly the same. I don't see that's not the way that works. So when you play the game, it's like your outcome may not be the same as the next guy's.
It's hard to
so you lock it into a movie. Well, now it looks like it makes it feel like everybody has to do that in the game or whatever. It's like that's not how that works. The game leaves it wide open. It's not locked into one script, one story. You see what I'm saying? That was why I loved EverQuest back in the day. You could go play EverQuest. You could go sit at the lake, fish, and drink beer all day. You didn't have to go follow any storyline. And if you did want to go do something, there were 50 different things you could go do. There was not one thing everybody had to go do. It was a great wide open game with tons of quests at every level group. So there was always something different, and everybody's experience in the game was different. No two people played that game exactly the same way to the exact same outcomes.
Yeah.
That's the way the games are supposed to be. You don't lock it into one script.
It's hard to translate video games to. I don't know anyone that was good. You know what I mean? Resident Evil fail. It's hard. It's hard to translate because of it. Because it's a wide open world. To lock in one story is difficult.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Even in comic books, we are seeing from 10 years to now, because before was terrible comic book movies. You know what I mean? Before Iron Man first was terrible. It was hard to translate. I myself, I never thought that we could see what we saw on the movies with the comic book characters, because man,
Well, see,
and
now,
I think it's just achievable because the special effects are cheaper today. Otherwise,
I don't think any of you guys are old enough to have experienced this, but I was a teenager when Star Wars came out.
No.
And prior to Star Wars, we had seen nothing close. Nothing close to that, okay? You know what the phasers look like in Star Trek. You know what the fighters look like in Battlestar Galactica. We had seen nothing like Star Wars. It was worlds beyond. And then the standard was set. You couldn't come out with a space show or a space movie that was not up to that level. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it was a fail. If it wasn't up to that level, it was a fail. Even if it was a good movie. I mean, there's a lot of good movies came out.
Pops.
Did.
Real quick question for you, Pops.
Okay.
Did you go see The Exorcist when it first came out as a teenager?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. What was it like in the theater?
Dude, well, first off, I was actually young enough where I had to be taken by an older sibling.
All right.
Well, the older sibling was a sister who was just there to make out with her boyfriend.
Oh, damn.
So I was like, you guys cut that out. I'm trying to watch a movie.
Come on, I want to see the movie.
There were probably scenes in that movie I was too young for. I will not deny it.
I'm sure I can think of a few of them. Yeah.
I was probably a little too young for that.
Watching that thing on like Channel 5 or whatever messed me up.
That movie's scary no matter what. Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you, when I was a friend of mine we went, I forgot which movie we were going to see, and we snuck into Alien.
Oh,
as a kid, Alien wrecked me.
Really?
Oh, as a kid, Alien, that movie freaking wrecked me. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I loved it, but I was terrified. I mean, absolutely freaking terrified.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, and when you bring up The Exorcist, it's like projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Projectile vomiting is something that I will duck out of the way of now, even if it doesn't get anywhere near me.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, if it starts even like leave it, I'm gone. I'm out.
Game over, man.
Yeah, that's one thing that movie did for me for sure. It was like made me one of those chain reaction people.
Yeah.
And I blame it entirely on that movie. Because before that I was okay.
It was amazing. This movie was my favorite.
Like the ultimate makeout movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
of all movies, The Exorcist, really?
Oh man.
I don't know.
Insane.
Okay,
And,
I'm gonna
it's
drop.
it's
Hey,
funny
Pops,
because
is it okay if I just ask how many people in here for the drawing? Like just on the side, how many people came or came for that? Is it okay?
We have 8 people in the chat right now.
Oh shit! All right.
If you want to do it, and
I'm
I
just
think
curious
you
how.
can
Yeah.
John and Rod too.
Okay, I'm just curious how many people are here. I'm just curious how many people.
Well, I mean,
That's all.
there's 10 people watching right now. It's like, you know how Monday is. There's like 8 different streams.
True that.
They're all starting to wrap up right about now, I think, except for Bancroft's. I think he goes up, starts about 11.
Yeah, Bancroft hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, so this is like our hour where if we have some content that people are interested in, we might get double-digit viewers for a little while. Once Bancroft comes out, everybody goes watch him anyway. So there are shows that have huge audiences. I wish mine was one of them. I really do, and I'm growing. Someday it will be. But it's hard to compete against some of these guys. I can't compete against Peter Samedi.
Right.
He's gonna have 40, 50 people watching him every night. Every time he goes out. I can't go out there.
You got to understand with Peter. I mean, it's like he's an old school player from the Himalayas. I mean, he's this dude has been we dipped our toes in publishing. He's been in it.
I'm here because there's supposed to be a drawing. All right, so this link I just dropped right here, this is the link for the Black Tiger Hunter Hunted 20-minute live action video. If you guys want to go check that out.
Check it out and give it a like and give me a subscribe while you're at it.
Share.
Yeah, for sure. You know how we do it. What were we looking at, John?
Well, I mean, mainly I was gonna do that drawing, but I was gonna give a few words about my current project.
Well, yeah. I mean, what did you have in mind for the drawing? Did you already have something?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So no, what I was gonna do a free drawing for was a free 11 by 17 commission, whatever you want. Super detailed as always. Yeah.
Oh, it's not something you already did.
That's a great deal. I mean, just wow.
Great deal.
So whoever, I know there's some people I've been inviting all day. So yeah, if we want to do that drawing, I'd like to see who wins. Whoever wants to get into it, I should say.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got 9 right now. If we can get 1 or 2 more, if we can get into double digits, and you could then add John and Rod to the list as well.
For sure.
It'd be worth doing it. Get a few more people out here. Y'all hit that share. Tell everybody what's going on.
That's right.
Is it okay if I show a few of those images from my book that I sent you? Is that cool?
Please share.
Yeah, let me
Let's check it out.
So for people who have, a lot of the people that follow me, I haven't been posting too many just regular drawings as I usually do at all. Mm-hmm. But I have been working. All my time has been going into this comic and just getting it perfected and just trying to make sure it's exactly as it's supposed to look. Working with my colorist, his name is Galen Travis. Guy's fucking brilliant. My friend and co-writer, Leah Newman, who's just helping me fine-tune this thing to exactly what it's supposed to be. And then I have a letterer, Nikki Sherman, that's going to be coming on real soon to start coloring this thing. Lettering this thing, sorry. But it's a vampire comic. And it's probably the last vampire story I'm ever going to do, but it's also going to be the best one. It's really dark. But it's not just horror. It's not just like blood and gore and sex to shock you. Everything in this comic has meaning. Everything in the story represents something. The whole story, I'll go ahead and give it away now. The whole story is an allegory for depression, overcoming depression. And it's told through the story of vampires. And it's, like I said, it's something else. It really is. I can't wait for people to see it.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Yeah, dark and moody.
Exactly.
Would wake Trish up, but she needs a nap. Is it dark and moody? I'm not sure who that Facebook user is, but they think it looks good. I've been waiting for this for a while. John knows.
I'm real close to having enough for a first issue. I'm still deciding what I want to do. Lee thinks I should, just keep going with it, and I kind of agree. Like I want to release it as much as I can, so you can get as much as you can in one read. I hate doing it 24 pages at a time, 32. That's not enough, especially for a story like this. Because even though there's a lot of good horror, and there is some, I'm not going to give it away, but there's some great payoffs coming at the end and toward the middle. Just as far as actiony stuff goes, it's a slow burn. You don't have to wait long for things to happen. And I can already tell just by my first read through I did the other night that this thing really moves along well. But it's not flashy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't think it moves like a traditional horror film or horror story, because there's so much more emotion behind it. It's so much more in the dialogue, And anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here. But yeah, I think it's the perfect kind of vampire story to come out right after 2020, Yeah. And I just can't wait for people to see it and read it.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Strong female characters, good shit. Yeah.
When the campaign is already online?
I'm sorry, is there what?
The campaign is already online.
No,
it's already released.
No, there's no campaign. No, I'm not going to do a Kickstarter or anything on it unless I got a lot of it done and ready to go, And I want to do just a digital release, and then later on do a Kickstarter to maybe just get a hardcover, a special edition hardcover printed.
Nice.
But I want this to be as accessible for people as it can be, and also cheap. Like, I don't want to charge an arm and a leg for this, I really want to give people their money's worth, and believe me, they're going to get it. There's some good stuff that's coming to this. It's going to be graphic. It's going to be a little hard to read at some points, but fuck it. If you're going to have to, it's awesome. It's really good.
Nice.
Michael from 6'8". Michael from 6'8" in the chat. What's going on?
What's up, Mike?
Everybody in the chat, sound off so we can add you to the list for the drawing.
There you go.
If you're lurking, we can't get your name down. Sing out. Let us know who you are.
Didn't I send you some more images, Pops? I think I sent you a few more images than that.
Let me see. What else do I got?
I think I sent you like 6 of them. Yeah.
Oh, there's one I didn't see.
Yeah.
Oh, nice mood on the scene.
Yeah, my colorist, the colorist, Galen Travis, he's really good. And that's another thing about working with him. It's so great is he's really willing to do what it takes to make it look right.
That's awesome, man.
And it doesn't take a lot, though. He really picked up early on what I'm trying to do with this, what I want. He's a great guy to work with. He's something else. Yeah.
All in blue.
That's the value of working with an art, working with folks and really getting onto the same page. You kind of hit your stride.
Yeah. This is a really good partnership. I do all the line work and everything like that. And
Zach. What's up, Zach?
that's the reference. That was one of the references I was looking at for Zach Wild.
Yep, that is
reference.
references.
So good.
That's good stuff. I really like the funeral scene. It's raining. It's got
that was a fun one.
Bad feeling.
Yeah, this isn't a bright comic. I mean, when you see bright colors in it, and there are moments like that, it's because, and we were talking about this earlier, the colors represent the personality and mood of the character. Like there's a scene that's attached to this one where it goes from being really dark and blue like you just saw, and just really dark, and then to being really bright and pink walls and purple everywhere, because that's the character. So
nice.
Yeah, everything in this comic represents something. So
as it should.
Yeah. As it
That's
should.
awesome, man.
It's gonna be free. It's called The Owl.
I'm not sure who Facebook user here is. All I've got is Mike. Oh, we got Jim. Is Jim still
Facebook
watching?
user is probably someone that I'm friends with on Facebook that I invited. It might be my friend Dante. I don't know.
Oh, I did see Dante earlier for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely going to be in this.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't familiar with my work beyond what I'm showing you here, The Art of John Running on Facebook, that is a lot more examples of just regular work I've done, cartoony and serious. You know, I'm a little, but always detailed and a little sick on some level. That's just
always love details.
So, Pops, did you want to start gathering names for the drawing, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a name. I'm not sure who that one is. I'm working on it. Let's see, where are we at here?
Better dox yourself, Facebook user, or you're not going to get a chance to win.
Oh, you can just put FU. That'll mean Facebook user.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah.
All right, that's Dante. Okay, that was Dante.
All right.
So let's see. We got Rod, and we got John. Let's see. If we add Pops, we got 10 people. if we add Pops, we got 10 people.
Can't miss Pops, right?
I got JC.
Thank you very much, JC Universe. I appreciate that. I'll tell Galen.
I got
JC.
that
was one of those pages from that panel you saw. That page, I actually paid Galen a little bit more just for that page because I knew I was going to have a lot of different subtleties I want in there. I'm kind of doing what the other John is doing. I'm like directing this thing too.
There you go.
But at the same time, you know, I'm trying not to be so anal that I don't trust or put some trust into my colorist or even my that better. Because you know what? A lot of the times, just the input and ideas they have will offer something you never thought of that might even enhance it. You know,
if you don't trust the people you're working with, you shouldn't be working with them.
Exactly.
You know,
I limit how minute I get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's key. That's the beauty of comics, though. It always becomes something greater. The pieces are always greater than the whole. You know, you kind of look at it afterwards, you're just like, holy smokes, look at this.
All the subtle. Well, like Vince McMahon said, the difference between good and great is in the details.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
true.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, we got Trish. That's 11 if you count Pops.
11.
There you go.
I like that. I think we had like 3 last time, but okay. See, Damien's in here too.
What do we got?
Hey, Damien, you in here? Hey, you might not be in here. I don't know. All right.
What drawing are we talking? We're not talking about a drawing that is drawn. We're talking about a commission.
A free 11 by 17 commission, fully detailed and inked, looking all kinds of badass.
That's amazing.
Hold on, John. Why don't you go ahead? Do you got anything handy you can like give people an example of what you do, bro?
I mean, you remember what you did last time you went into? I think you went into my YouTube page of John Ray Art. But no, because look, I don't have. Every time I try to do something from my phone, I kick myself off.
No. I mean, do you have anything like handy, like in your hand?
Okay. I can show you a sketch I was working on, but hold on. I got a couple here that I could show you, I suppose, but there's just a couple. Everything else on my wall is movie posters.
Oh, look, see, Trish already got some of John's work over there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Trish got a Star Wars.
Oh no! There we go.
I don't think y'all can even see that.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay. We see that. We can see the top half of the page.
Oh, hold up. Let me see. Hold on a second.
That looks good.
Let me just hold on.
Don't boot yourself, though.
All right.
I'm trying to flip over the camera or something. Man, I can't figure this thing out. I feel like an old person trying to figure out technology.
Yeah, I know. It's just like me.
No offense to other people.
I'll tell you what. Let me go to your Facebook page.
There you go. Wow. Yeah, this whole camera thing ain't working. Sorry, y'all.
So what's your favorite kind of stuff to draw?
My favorite kind. Can you guys see me? I only see myself and not you guys.
Yeah, because you were. Yeah, he just had you as. All
right, cool. My bad. You said my favorite kind of stuff to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little tired. Not that I don't like doing it, but I'm getting tired of doing fan art and fan pieces. Just because, like, how many more Batman stuff. Do I need to do and all that? So I like doing horror-y, kind of darker, moody stuff.
Mhm.
I like doing that's the one you just saw, but less done. I just like doing things that are detailed. I literally like putting a lot of detail into it. I like doing things with a lot of emotion in them on some level. I like doing, some things with humor in them, although I haven't done a lot of comedic pieces in quite some time.
Okay.
I just like getting really, like things like that, It just depends on my mood at the time, what I'm feeling. Yeah, shit like that.
Oh, snap.
That's an old piece. But yeah, just, I try to mix it up a bit. But yeah, fan art, I'm trying to move away from that just a bit,
Okay.
That is some shit I was showing off that I bought. I did not, that's not a piece of that. Okay. Yeah, that's another panel from the comic Galen did.
Nice.
That's what I did for Justin Brunel. I really don't like that piece.
Like
I wish I
Greed.
did better than that.
It looked like Greed. That was Greed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I could have been better on that.
I love this one. This
I
one's
was trying to do
one-
Thor, and then it's funny. I was like, oh yeah, this is my dark version of Thor. And then I was like, wait a second. Thor has wings on his helmet, so now it's just a mad Viking. I'm not political. I was just feeling shit at the moment.
Nice.
I did that for Matt. Oh God, I forgot his fucking last name. He has this comic that I did this pinup for. He actually had a really successful Kickstarter off of it. Matt, God damn it! I know I should just look this. No, I'll find it. I'll find it later.
There's a whole bunch of Matts out there.
That's something, man. His comic is called Tales of Enlightenment.
Matt King?
No. It's called Tales of Enlightenment. It was a real successful Kickstarter. It's a wild story, and just wild artwork style. Really old school, but looks really fantastic. Look for that. Tales of Enlightenment. It's wild.
I haven't even heard of that before. I gotta
check it out. He just ran a Kickstarter, landed a few days ago, but I know it's successful. And just look into it, man. It looks great. It looks really good. Matt something. God damn it, I forgot his last name.
Matt King?
Yes, Matt King. Thank you.
Matt King, yeah, just right there in the comments. Right
Matt King, there he is.
Contribution, John.
There he is. Thank you. I hate that picture. I wish I'd done better on that one.
Look, this is a work in progress. On Monday the 22nd, live on Pops Van Zant's Monday Madness. This is back in March.
And then someone chose Star Wars over that, and I'm glad they did. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It reminds me of Charlotte Flair. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, she looks like she could totally be a wrestler. Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's another scene.
That's nice, man.
That's
this
a
is
scene.
the kind of art that drew me to John Running's work. John Running fills the page, y'all.
Yeah, I tried. Well, this scene is from The Owl, and I believe it's page 7. And what it is when you read through it, it's 2 pages of just going through the woods and eventually ending up somewhere. So it's almost like the camera is just moving through. Right. And what I'm going to do when I make a trailer for this comic is I'm actually going to animate that and turn it into a flip book so you can actually see the camera moving through the forest. Okay. And there's other scenes I have that fly through the forest that do the same thing. So I'm also kind of trying to prepare this as an animation as well in some level.
Very cool.
Nice.
I'm showing off more autographs I got. Halloween piece. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Original. Oh, yeah. That's not me. That's, yeah. More of The Owl. I should have some more enough movies I watch. Oh, my God. Nice. This is so fucking embarrassing. Good Lord.
You said go to your Facebook page.
No, I know. Chuck Norris signed in my posters.
Hey,
that's awesome.
Chuck.
Yeah. He signed 3 of them for me, actually. He signed 3.
That's awesome.
CPA Authentics, the company, got that for me. Shout out to them.
Right?
Yeah. I got a lot of. I collect autographs and shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I need that one. I need that autograph too.
Hell yeah, dude! I got Sidekicks poster signed and a bunch of others.
The Mike
I used to love that show.
I got the Mike Zek Karate Commandos. The Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Yeah.
I have it signed by Zek, but I don't have it signed by Chuck yet.
Really?
You know, I think he might have another signing coming up soon. I'll let you know. He usually charges about for a comic. I think it'd be like $130 But yeah, man, he's doing private signings.
Very cool.
Okay, so I got these names. Should we go ahead and do this?
Let's do this. I'm feeling lucky.
Let me go ahead and get these up. We got JC. We got Dante and Trish.
All right.
RJ
What's up, Dante?
and John. We got Jim O'Reilly, Michael and Rod, and Mike and Teresa. Okay, now Michael and Mike James, and Michael Gonzalez. Okay, Michael Gonzalez, Mike James. That's how they're separated, just so we get them right. Okay, we got a Jim O'Reilly. Let's see, RJ and John, JC, and Pops. I got to put a Pops in there, man. Because you know why?
Yeah.
If Pops
Well, you already got one coming, you know.
Oh,
you
yeah,
already
I
got
do
one
have
coming.
one. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to. I got one coming.
No, you can still put your name. It's okay. I like giving away artwork, believe it or not. I really do.
What I was going to say is if I put my name in here and I win, I'm just going to let one of the grandkids decide what they want anyway.
Oh, yeah, some cartoony or something. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be up to them what they want because all this is going to be theirs in the end anyway. So most of the time I tell people, yeah, let me check with the kids and see what they like. Okay, so they're all in there. My name's in there. It's up here on my head. I don't know. You got one. Oh, fuck.
Are you serious?
I knew it.
Now, hold up.
It's rigged.
So
no, I'm kidding. Okay, right on, dude.
No, you.
No, wow.
Everybody else's name was here, too.
Holy shit, really?
RJ.
Wow. Hey, Pops, listen, Pops. Do me a favor. Take your name out and do a second drawing. I want to do another one for whoever else is left. Let's do another one. Let's give it a little chance. I'm doing 2 conventions. I have no problem with that.
I could not have done that. I could not do that again if I put my name back in there.
That's all right.
Michael Gonzalez.
Michael Gonzalez. Okay.
Nice.
You're the winner, Michael.
Hey, whatever you want, man. Let me know. Hit me up. Send me a message or tell me here. Yeah, I'll do a commission for you, man. Character concept, black and white, no color. But hey, you'll love it.
I do got to say what John's already doing for me. Really, I mean, is amazing. We'll definitely let the kids choose something and have John.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down.
That's super cool.
He's doing a Zach dime bag piece for me, you guys.
It's just Zach Watt. It's actually just Zach Watt. But believe me, you're gonna like it. It's just Zach.
Okay, it's fine. Look, I'm blown away that he was like, "So what do you want, man? I don't want to do one of these same old things I'm always doing." I was like, "Okay, well, what?" And he goes, "Who means a lot to you?" I go, "Fucking Zach."
I like doing these rockers, man. I want to do one of Jimi Hendrix pretty soon. I've been wanting to do something like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Lemmy, all of them. Dude, I miss these rockers, man. I was just listening to this isn't a rocker, but George Michael last night. All these wonderful singers we lost, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, too much, dude. David fucking Bowie. God damn. Scott Weiland. I didn't even know he was dead till recently. Fuck. Man.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
It's true, man. It's true.
It's crazy, dude. Even these rappers, man. I didn't really know about them when they were alive, but after the fact, I listened to them, like guys like Pop Smoke and even King Von. Fuck, these guys were good. These guys were talented, man. Yeah, I was never a big fan of his, but I respect him. His personality, what he did for the game. Okay.
I was in jail with him.
Are you serious? What? Wait a minute. You were in jail with DMX?
He was in Maricopa County Jail for dog fighting or some shit back, 20 years ago, whatever. And I was in jail for some weed at the same time. And it's like, Sheriff Joe didn't like nobody.
I've been to Maricopa County, but go ahead.
Sheriff Joe doesn't like nobody. Okay. So Sheriff Joe really will go out of his way to either use a celebrity, Like when Glenn Campbell was there, he had him put on a little show. Okay, he will either use a celebrity or totally humiliate them and let everybody know they're in his jail. Okay, Joe used celebrities as promotion pieces for his stupid ass jail. And, you know what I mean? He did.
You know,
So if he got you and you had a face or a name, oh, either he used you, either you played ball with him and did what he wanted you to do, and then you got you got taken care of, you didn't have to eat the slop, you got real food, you know, or you didn't play ball with him, and the newspaper knew every day what you were doing and told everybody about the slop you had to eat and blah, 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 and they would humiliate you, you know?
you know what? My stepfather had to do a little bit of time in his tent city.
Oh, Tent City was the worst. That was the worst.
Dude, he had stories, man. Arpaio was a fucking dick.
Yeah, yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, it was something else, man.
But yeah, DMX and I was in that jail at the same time.
There you go.
That's cool, man. That's
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it was cool, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got a story out of it, I guess, right?
It's just when it's something you don't even think about, right? You don't even think about it. And then, oh shit, he died? Damn, I was in jail with that dude. You know? It's not, I got his music. It's not, you know, I mean, I was in jail with dude, you know.
But you had a connection to him that's closer than most. So it's just an interesting, you know, it's
funny, dude. It was
connected
funny.
In some way.
I mean, everybody's all like hero worshiping on him, you know, and everybody's like, "Oh, DMX, you there?" You know, and of course, you know, people like me who didn't have any clue who he was at the time,
right.
You know, I mean, the only reason I knew who he was because everybody was all on his leg. You know, like the people who did know who he was, they were like, "Oh, dude, that's the rapper DMX." Oh, he's a dog fighter, I guess. I mean,
seriously.
that was what I knew about him. He's in jail with me for dog fighting. That's what I know. You know, it's like, it's just crazy stuff, man. Life experience is so strange. And the older you get, the more stuff that you forgot hits you in the back of the head when you least expect it.
So
You know what I mean? It's like, you don't even think, I didn't think about that guy. I didn't think about that guy. You know, it's like, yeah, it's just some guy I was in jail with a long time ago, right? Till he died.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh, man. You know, that's and I'm over here getting old trying to outlive as much stuff as I can while still wanting stuff to outlive me, if you understand how that works. I don't want to go yet, but I don't want anything I love to go before me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have to live through another dog dying. I don't want to have to live through my son dying or my grandkids dying or anything. I want to go before any of that shit happens. Okay? At the same time, I want all you guys' work to outlive me. I don't want none of your shit to stop before I die. I want to be able to read good books all the way out, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's like I want to live forever, but I don't want to outlive the people I love. The things I love, you know, I don't want to watch them pass. I don't necessarily want them to have to watch me pass either. But you know what I'm saying? I don't like that kind of pain. That's not my favorite kind of pain. Losing people I love is like the fucking worst type of pain. You know, so yeah. At the same time, I don't want my mom. I don't want my mom to have to bury me. You know, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's life and death.
Hard.
Facts, man. Facts.
And that's why we have all these beautiful books and all these forms of entertainment to, you know, give us a little bit of immortality. When you're reading, when you're caught up in a book, you're not thinking about how much time you got left. You're not thinking about any of those kind of things. And when they say escapism, they truly mean that, because you get all the way outside of yourself when you get caught up in a good book, a good comic book, a good graphic novel. You get all the way outside of yourself. I actually put myself in those shoes sometimes. I could be that guy. I could live. I'd live something similar to that. I could be that guy. You know what I mean? And sometimes you get caught up in that. Like there's one guy in the Star Wars universe called Corran Horn, and he's a semi-Jedi, Corpsec security officer, rogue squadron pilot. He's all those things, but he's not like the Jedi. He's not like Luke fucking Skywalker. He's got some Jedi talent. He's my favorite Star Wars guy. He ain't even in any of the movies. He's an EU character that somebody made up. Yeah. He's my favorite character in Star Wars. You see what I'm saying? It's like we get all the way lost in something, and then like people like you make it grow and expand it and expand it and expand it. And people like me, our loves and things that we have fallen in love with and invested our lives into, like Star Wars, the extended universe, 200 fucking something books I've read. You know, I'm invested in that. Okay, you know.
I have a question real quick for Rod.
All right.
Hey, Rod, when you draw, or even you too, John, but like when you're drawing a page or like when you're drawing a scene or when you're planning out a comic or a book or story, you know, how do you think about like, or how important, well, I'm not going to ask how important is it, but do you think about like trying to really elicit an emotional response out of the reader? Like, this is the point, by this point, I really want someone to almost tear up at this point, or I want someone to get really angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really try to meticulously plan out the reader's experience through the way you tell your story?
Sometimes I do like that, man. I use some techniques that I learned by the years. How I use the blacks, shadows. I use big figures with small figures. Sometimes, for instance, if I want a solitary scene or a sad scene of a character, maybe, for instance, if the character is feeling alone, I will draw a short panel with a small figure in the middle and all the background detail around. So you'll be alone in that panel. So it's a few techniques that I use that I know that works. But sometimes I think like that. I should think more to use more those techniques, but sometimes the deadline is impossible to think like that. That's why I like better indie comics, because I have a time frame to work. It's not too short that I need to produce one page a day, one page in a day. You badly can't think right? Sometimes I do that, man. Sometimes I do that. Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard. It's not something easy. You need to be very focused on that page to get that in the story. I don't know, John, if he think like that too. But
well, I mean, you know, one of the things you want when you're storytelling is you want people to care. You want people to care about whether it's your protagonist or if that's an anti-hero. You want people to care. So, you know, like with the first Black Tiger, Legacy of Fury, kind of the main protagonist is a guy who ultimately fails as being the Black Tiger. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and kind of the subsequent books is like his sister, and you know, you get to see how she is similar and how she's dissimilar to him. But it's like the whole point is you want to build this character up. You want to show who he is. You want to show his flaws. You want to be able to really kind of, you know, vibe with this guy, so that when what ultimately happens, you're just kind of like, oh, right. you know, you're and it, you know, like in writing it out, you know, and it's one of those things where sometimes even when you see this train wreck coming, you're like, is this really going to happen? Like my wife, when she read it, you know, she was just like, I can't believe you actually did it. I mean, you know, she was like, she was like all torn up. And I was like, but that's good because that's how I feel when I read it too. You know, it's like, and then Rod was able to bring it to life through the pictures, you know, the feeling that I already had when I was writing. And I think that, you know, I don't like to play with people's emotions, you know, because I don't like my emotions to be played with, but this is the big part of the story. And if you come out the other end of the story and you're like, I didn't really care about that guy, then I did a very poor job. Rod and I did a very poor job in presenting the story to you.
Yeah.
You know, if you come out the other end and say, screw that guy, I'm glad he's dead. You know, you're like,
well, see, now I look at it like this, okay, and a lot of people, I have this conversation with a lot of people when it comes to the emotional content, okay. Somebody will come to me and go, man, somebody just ripped me my ass over that picture I drew last week, and it was like, oh, so you got an emotional response out of them? And they're like, yeah, good for you. And I just leave it at that. I don't let them get all worked up about it. It's like, that's what you were trying to do, right? Get an emotional response out of them.
For
Good for you. Not everybody's going to have the same emotional response.
exactly.
I've actually done a couple of comics that I don't think one person has liked. It's not because it was badly drawn. It's just they couldn't handle what was in it. It was just so... And I wasn't expecting them to walk out feeling wholesome about it either. But, like, yeah, you're right. I mean, it was a bad response, but hey, they responded, you know?
And any I mean, if they took the time out to send you a message or comment on one of your posts, you did your job. No matter what they said.
Well, because you got to remember too, and even I remember this in telling the story. You know, we're all seeking escapism, and there's something in us that says like, okay, this guy's gonna pull it out at the end, and then when he doesn't, it's either something so personal because we've had our own failings or whatever. We're just like, you know, you're just like, you know, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, I mean, that's the story. All I say is this. All I tell people is know the story you're going to tell and tell it. Don't punk out on it. If you've got a story to tell, and you're going to tell that story, then tell that story.
Yeah, don't water it down. Don't water it down.
And that's exactly, and that, well, like what you're saying, that's exactly why I prefer the medium of doing comics over even like over shooting something. I don't have a budget with comics. I don't have censors telling me what's good and what's not. I can do whatever nutty ass thing I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, no, you got to give them a button at the end. No, you're not getting a button at the end.
But yeah, like just the freedom of it. You can do whatever you want, you know, and it doesn't even matter if you're a good artist or not. You know what I mean? Quentin Tarantino actually had a really great quote. He said, if you love what you're doing, if you have heart about what you're doing, you know, basically, if you're in love with the project you do, like when you're making a film, then you can't help but make a great film. And the same holds true for comics. If you love what you're doing, if you're really down with it, and if you consider yourself someone who's a good judge of stories or whatever, there's no way it's going to suck. You dig?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Just shit it out and just don't do your best on it. You know what I mean? But
I think generationally, that's why all of us love comics. Because at least for me, I grew up in a time when the people that were making comics, whether it was in the Marvel bullpen or whatever, you knew they loved those stories. You knew they loved those characters. They were doing what they loved, and it translated. And when I read those stories, I was just like, this has to be the best job in the whole world.
Yeah, writing stories on other people. You're writing stories about characters that you love.
I felt
no freaking brainer. Yeah, but what happened? I mean, yeah, it's a business, but it became a business that was about whether it was like, okay, we need to have events, we need to have crisis events, we need to have all this kind of crap going on, and the love of the characters went out the window, and you could tell. You're just like, these stories suck. These guys don't care about these characters. Why am I investing into something that I care more about than you care about? That's where I got to. I got to the point where I was like, okay, if I'm in my fifis about this and I'm all pissed off or whatever, and you guys don't care, then you don't need my money anymore.
See, and this was me. I'm a Thor fan. Okay, we're 700 something issues in, and the gaps in my Thor collection are directly related to what they were doing to Thor, what they were doing to him, whether it was just smashing him who he was, or changing him to somebody else, changing him to a frog, changing him to a girl, changing him to this, he was a redheaded dude at one point. It's like you can see where the gaps in my Thor collection are directly related to where they were taking the story, which was really like way far away from where Thor's supposed to be. Sorry. They really took him some weird places, but it's 700 issues. Come on, they had to take him some weird places, but there were arcs where I was just like, nah.
But I think I totally understand the business mind of Marvel to think Thor as a profit character, but I think they should be brave to stop. You know what I mean? 700 issues, bro. That's it. No story anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. No Thor anymore. You know what I mean?
And they just now finally give him. They finally killed off Odin, right? They finally killed off Odin and make him King Thor, and he's King Thor, and he ain't King Thor for a week, and he's off fighting with Galactus. Come on, y'all! It's like, make him king of Asgard. Bring up his son or whatever, his daughter, whatever you're going to do, the next Prince of Power of Asgard. Create that character.
Well, I'll tell you, when the New Mutants came out back in the 80s and the New Mutants came out, I remember my buddy and I going to the comic book store. This was more of like a bookstore. This was like the first bookstore that had like direct market elements to it. So, I mean, it's like they had the, back bin, but it's like, but they got everything. I mean, if there was a book that was coming out, they got it. And we picked up the New Mutants there. And I remember my buddy and I looked at each other and we just said, we've got our generation's X-Men. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not how it panned out because there hasn't been a progression, a story progression, but it's like, that's kind of what that time period could have been. And I get it. They didn't know what they were doing because we have the benefit of looking back and seeing what was created. They made characters for the moment, and that's why they kept reinventing the character. So I don't begrudge them for that. But us as creators, we have the benefit of looking at what could have been, and we can do that. We can tell stories. And the one thing that I have to say about manga, I'm not a big manga guy, but they understand the importance of story arc. They understand the importance that stories do come to an end. They understand the importance that some characters do come to an end. And one of the things that Rob and I said is like, listen, whatever we do is going to be canon, because I was always pissed when something that was awesome was canon got reversed. So whatever we do is canon, and we're going to keep the train moving forward. Whatever that looks like.
I don't mind. Like I said, you kill off the character. That's cool. Your universe still has life. You still have other characters you can spin off from. It doesn't. The whole freaking story don't die with that guy.
But you cheapen it if everybody comes back to life.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just becomes a cheap trick.
They can go ahead and kill Thor off. There's enough Asgard to carry on without Thor. You see what I'm saying? There's enough Asgard stories. There's enough characters in Asgard that, like Balder, the Warriors 3, Freya, and there's all these other characters that you can build off of. You have Thor's daughter in one alternate universe and son in another alternate universe. You got all these other people that can carry on this story. The story's not going to die if Thor does. That's what I'm saying. It's like 700 issues, y'all.
Yeah,
retire him. I love Thor. I don't want his stories to end, but retire him as the guy out doing everything. Let him sit on the Asgardian throne for a few years and just be Odin. Create more new stuff. Create more new stuff to fill that void. Don't keep bringing dude back. Go ahead and retire. Thor was my generation's hero.
But I think the producer or editors or whatever, they try to do that, what you are saying, but then they say that the sales dropping. Oh, we need to bring back Thor again. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't give time to invest. The wave you drop. Oh, Thor is dead. All right, you drop it, but we are creating another kind of hero, a son, a kid, and eventually the wave will go up again, and up there you could bring Thor as a Odin or whatever, and boom. No, they tried something different. Oh, let's kill Thor. All right, and then the sales, and the guys.
If you guys want to read
Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, if you guys want to read a really, really great comic that's a little different, I forgot the exact name of it, but hold on now, no, wait a minute. It's a MODOK book, and he falls in love with female Thor. It's funny as hell.
What?
Yes, it's fucking great, dude. MODOK falls in love with Thor. It's funny as hell. And there's another one where the
Jane
Joker.
Foster. He falls in love with Jane Foster.
Like, I don't know if that's her name. I don't know much about the Thor mythos or who's
I'm pretty sure that's who took over for Thor, right? Was Jane Foster?
I just know there was a blonde chick, and she's
Thor?
Thor, and she's hot, and MODOK loves her now.
That's hilarious.
That's all I know. But yeah, good stuff.
See, I was okay with mainstream until they started doing the super gigantic crossover. Got to have every book from every title to get all the story type thing.
Like 52 or something.
I buy a few titles, and I don't want to have to buy titles I'm not interested in to get the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
I don't want to have to do that. And as soon as DC and Marvel started doing this, like with Batman Who Laughs, where you had to have a Nightwing book, a Robin book, a Green Lantern book, you had all these other books that you didn't care about to get the story. Then they went and did it with that Asgardian War, the Wars of Asgard or whatever. They did the same thing, where you had to go buy all these other titles that you didn't care about to get the whole story. That was where the big two lost me. Because I don't care about all them other titles. These are the titles I buy. These are the characters I'm interested in.
Well, that's when a bean counter that understands nothing about the industry steps up and says, like, well, hey, if we're selling this many of this and this many of that, if we do this, it's like the same people that say, like, yo, there's 2 billion people in China. There's 2 billion people in China. If I can just sell this to X% of the, you know what I mean? Then you know what I mean? You're like, no, you don't understand. You've just destroyed your market. What you're doing is you've destroyed your market. You're not going to get anybody buying your stuff.
No.
It lost me because, okay, I don't care. Like I said, there was 30-something titles involved in that storyline. I cared about 3 of them.
Yeah.
I can't even read the whole story unless I go spend all this other money on these books I don't care about. You lost me.
Yeah, they don't understand what that equates to is I'm not getting anything.
Right.
They think you're going to get 60 books. And it's like, no, I'm getting nothing.
Nothing. I pass.
As much as I'd like to be able to get all 60 and have the whole story and all that, I'm not interested in it. That's the sad part. You actually have to read this book to find the 2 panels that are relevant to your story. You have to actually read it to figure out, to find it. Now you just made me read a book I don't care about to get 2 panels. You made me pay $3.99, $4.99 for these 2 panels. Yeah. And now I'm not happy with you.
Because you didn't get any payoff anyway. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I'm not happy with you. And that's pretty much where both the big two lost me, with Batman Who Laughs and whatever that was called, the Asgardian Wars or whatever. That was where I pretty much no more pull this. If that's what you're going to do to me, I'm just not down,
Gentlemen, my phone's about to die, and I gotta get to go do something. But
Okay, brother.
Pops, I really appreciate you having me on. For those of you still listening, those of you who took part in this drawing, thank you for coming out and doing that. It really means a lot to me. And I love giving away artwork. So even if you didn't get something this time, you will have a chance again, believe me. Very soon.
Man, it was a pleasure to meet you, man. Look
John,
forward to seeing some of your stuff, brother.
Rod, you're a fucking amazing artist, dude. And I can't wait to look at more of your comics, man, for real. What was the name of your book again?
Black Tiger.
Black Tiger.
Right on the bottom, right there, John.
Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Reading Dragon.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to check that out. It was good talking to you guys, and I hope we can do it again at some point as well.
Yeah, I hope so too, John. It was a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. Friend me on Facebook. We'll stay in touch, huh?
All right, definitely.
All right, cool. All right, have a good day. Good night.
You bet.
All right.
I have to go too, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like pushing 11. We could probably go ahead and
baby time.
let everybody get back to their lives.
Exactamundo. Thanks for having us on, Pops, man. We really appreciate it, bro.
Also,
anytime,
talk, man.
bro.
I love it. I love to talk about comics. Anytime.
Anytime. You guys know. CromCon. No, I'm gonna see you there.
Yeah. This I can't make this CromCon, so I'm gonna be at my son's basketball tournament, but
I did tell you about Monday night the next night though.
Yeah.
I leave Monday Madness the day after wide open for the people who can't make it out. So if you want to come out Monday night, the 31st or whatever, it's wide open. So.
Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, cool. Because our campaign will be live by then. It's going live on the 18th.
Exactly.
So.
Awesome. All
right.
Let's do it.
That sounds very good, man.
Thanks a lot, Pop.
Rod, it was great meeting you, brother. I will see you again for sure.
Take care, Rod.
I'll make John bring you with him when he
comes. Of course, man. It's like he's got all the exciting stuff, man. He's got all the art.
Dude. And make sure you hit me up right before you kill that Magna.
All right, man. It's coming. It's a week from today.
Make sure you hit me up before you kill it so that I can try to figure some way out to get some out of it.
All right. You know? So a week from today, we're shutting down Magna.
I don't want that one to get by me. You know.
No, I hear you. The books are in hand. So a week from today, I'll definitely let you know, Pops. Make something work.
Cool.
See you guys.
Y'all have a good night, man.
All right. Thanks, brothers. Take care.
See ya.
Later.
All right. That was John Hervey, Rod Luper. We had John Running, Jennifer Meinking. All you guys in the chat. Love all of you for watching. I know it's a night where there's a whole lot of other stuff going on. And Pops ain't necessarily probably the coolest thing out there, but hey, I appreciate everybody that tunes in. Michael, right on, dude. Scored you a John Running piece, man. I've been following John for quite a while. He's a serious talent, man, and he does fill a page. So whatever you ask him to do, expect excellence for sure. Appreciate all you guys watching as usual. I'm gonna go ahead and play this new CromCon video courtesy of Lee Reese, because you know what's happening at the end of the month, y'all.
Come get